This is the OMFL.
You can't touch this.
And you're in the mix with Kinda Real Name. Here's another OMFL production.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the OMFL Draft Show. Yeah, we're about 10 minutes late, but it's okay. We're finally here. It is season 83. Golly, can't believe it's already season 83. Season 83 OMFL Draft Show. We are live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're in the Discord chat room. There's a plethora of different ways that you can watch. If you want to hear me talk, though, as you're probably going to want to do as we go through all these picks. You want to watch on YouTube or be in the Discord chat, Twitch is going to fail you. It is just where we're getting the stream and pulling the stream from. We are at pick 17 in the second round, which is my pick. So I'm sure everyone is chomping at the bit. So you're going to get to see me pick my pick live here. So here's what we're going to do. There's a little bit of a lag between my stream and real life of me pressing the button. So I got to take this a little slow, but we'll get my pick in. Then we'll kind of go through all the picks. And, yeah, we'll catch us up to where we are. And then before we know it, it's going to be real draft time. 8 o'clock Central. I don't know who's all going to join me here tonight. I know that Bill is in the house. He's listening, which will be fun. But I'm guessing that other guys will join us as we kind of go along here. I cannot watch both the stream and Discord and all that other fun stuff that I need to watch. Just remember, though, if you do come into the Discord chat, please mute yourself. Mr. Priest, you mute yourself. We're going to hear all kinds of people hopping on here as they mute themselves and unmute themselves and all that other fun stuff as we kind of go along here. So let me see if I can go ahead and make my pick really quick. Hopefully this doesn't take me too long. I think I'm going to go defensive tackle. Yeah, let me see what I can do here. Priest, you got to mute yourself, buddy.
Trying.
I can mute you if I need to, but I like to let you guys kind of mute yourself, because if I mute you, then I have to unmute you, and I don't want to do that. Looks like Mr. Maniac is with us, so I'm guessing Mr. Maniac might be joining us for a little bit of our draft here. It's always nice to have another voice on here. Again, the best way to watch us is on YouTube, but of course you can hop into the Discord chat, and you can definitely watch us there. I did not get to tweet this out, so I don't know if Outlaw Maniac or all the other crews around, but make sure you grab our YouTube link, tweet that out for us. Make sure you use some hashtags like hashtag Madden19, hashtag or tag League Crawler. I know they'll help us blast this out. But let me see what I can do for my pick really quick. My poor little computer is mad at me that I'm trying to do 75 things at one time. But I'm going to see what I can find here that I want to go with. It's been a good draft so far. It's been an interesting draft so far. There's been a lot of guys taking some really good players. It's just been a really interesting draft, to say the least. And I think that it's going to be a good draft tonight. Can't wait to see how the rest of this kind of plays out. I'm just trying to make my pick really quick here. I think I got my guy that I want. Now I get to go find him. Let's see if I can bring this up real quick. So you're getting to see me do my pick live here as I watch my own stream, which is going to be a little difficult, but we're going to try to figure it out. There's so much that I want to talk about. There's been a really big run on offensive line, which I think is really going to open up some other positions here. Mr. Maniac, I hear you making noise, but you haven't said anything. Are you with me?
I'm here. I'm here.
Mr. Maniac is with us. Guys, welcome in Mr. Maniac, one of our co-hosts on Press Pass Live. I should say the award-winning Press Pass Live, thanks to all of the votes on League Crawler. Oh my God, he's dying. Somebody call a doctor. We need a doctor stat. He is dying. I'm going to have to...
It's not me, though.
Oh my God, that's got to be Priest. Dang it, Priest.
No, it's Tim.
Oh, that was Tim. Did Priest finally mute himself? That's right. Priest finally muted himself. Tim, don't forget to mute yourself for me, buddy. It's just going to help out with the kind of noise in the background. Let me go ahead and draft my player. I'm going defensive tackle Sanchez Sensei. What a great name. 6'6", 308 out of East Carolina. 74 overall. He's a run stopper. Says I reached. He was 84 overall. I got him at 49. I needed a defensive tackle. There was a run on a lot of other positions. Let's look at some ratings really quick, and then we'll break down all the other picks that we got going here in the last 15 minutes before this draft starts. 88 strength. That's terrible. He did 36 in the bench press, and he only gets 88 strength. 79 block shed. I do like that. 68 power move. 63 finesse move. Those are pretty terrible. 82 tackle. 66 play rec. 66 awareness. He's dumb as a brick, but I love the 71 speed, 73 acceleration. Let me go back over here. Is he normal? Let me go back. I hate the little lag. He is normal, so that's gonna suck to kind of figure out here. But I do have David Onyemata and a guy that I got last year, so a rookie that I drafted last year. So there is some potential this guy can kind of be a situational pass rusher that comes in, but not too bad here. Let me get some other secondary attributes, and then we're going to go break down some picks here. I do have the live chat on YouTube up, and so feel free to kind of talk to us on there if you want. 88 injury, 83 pursuit. I do like that. 71 hit power, not too terrible. I mean, I've seen worse. 83 agility, 89 stamina, and 80 toughness. So not too bad for a middle second-round pick, especially with the run that has been on offensive linemen. Thank you, Kevin, for tuning in. Kevin, feel free if you want to jump into the main chat or the main voice chat here. You can come and join us. I don't know if D. Wayne's going to be around. I don't know if Dawson's going to be around. Our other two co-hosts on Press Pass Live. Dawson never joins us for the drafts, but D. Wayne normally does come and join us. I'm going to have to grab some water here.
Dawson is online, but
yeah, he never joins us for the draft. I don't know what his deal is. This is the most exciting time in the OMFL. It's so much fun. Everybody's got that renewed sense of optimism. We're all sitting at 0-0, and before our hopes and dreams are killed in week 1, we are all dancing with dreams of Super Bowls in our heads. Let's cover some picks here, man. It's been a good draft. We did our pause draft. This is the 3rd year in a row that we've done this, and it's been good, man. We got through, I mean, before we know it, we're probably going to be through, if not all the second round, most of the second round here before we get started with the real draft. 8 o'clock Central, it's going to happen. So let me go ahead and see if I can get us onto the draft. A little lag here. What have you thought about the draft so far? Are you a fan of the pause drafts?
I am. I love it. I think it kind of adds a little bit of suspense to the whole thing. You know, guys are picking players, and you know they kind of have a little bit more time to kind of have a relaxed pick in a way. You know you don't want to see guys online staying for an hour, 2 hours just online trying to pick one pick, but you know, like in the NFL, the first round draft pick, you know, each team gets 15 minutes, you know, so they get to kind of sit there and go over their board last minute, discuss, you know, and so it kind of brings that type of realism to the draft, and then just seeing the players come off the board and then announced on Twitter and stuff. It's awesome. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun to do. Let me see if I can rearrange all of my little things here. Let me move some things around here. Yeah, it's been a great draft, and like you said, I do enjoy doing them on Twitter, on Twitter. Those are just, it's always fun to be able to do that. And like you said, guys are able to kind of take their time a little bit. I'm sorry, my computer is jamming up on me a little bit here. It's trying to do 50,000 things. it just adds like another level. I like it because not everybody can make draft night. And so just because you can't make draft night doesn't mean that you can't draft. And it adds to it. It gives everybody an opportunity to draft their player.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to enjoy it. And so it's been good. Mr. Dakota, I see that you are on the YouTube, so feel free to come and to join us and hang out with us a little bit. All right, let me knock out some of these draft picks here. And this is always difficult. Like, I'm by myself, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make all of this flow. I've got my phone in front of me, my computer, the TV's on, the control. Like, I got a zillion things I'm trying to do here. Let's go ahead and let's start off from pick number 1. I'm not going to be able to spend a ton of time I'm not going to be able to spend a ton of time on all of these picks, but we're going to kind of hit the highlights, roll through all of these really, really quick.
Before you get started?
Yeah, please.
Someone had said something about they couldn't hear it through YouTube, so might just give it a check. I don't know if it was a little bit ago in the chat, said they couldn't hear it through YouTube. So
they should be able to hear it through YouTube. I mean, everything is live. I'm looking at the audio feed. They should be good. Look, I'll even turn it up. Here, you'll hear it on my phone. I thought you'd hear it on my... Oh, because I have to play it.
It was a little bit ago in the chat.
See, there we go.
Said they couldn't hear it.
So it's got to be something... Yep, see, it's got to be something on their end because you can hear me loud and clear there. Oh, Mr. Dakota's over at work, man. I'm sorry, Dakota, that he is stuck at work. So, yeah, it must be something on their end. Hopefully, they'll be able to figure that out. If you send me messages or tag me, please know that I will not be reading them. I see that I already have a bunch of PMs popping up. It's just impossible. And so if you want to talk, if you want to do things, you got to let like Bill or Maniac, you got to let somebody else know that's in the board because they'll let me know. All right, let's see if we can run through these picks really quick. Again, stop me if you see something that you want to talk about. We've got about 8 minutes here, so I'm going to quickly kind of roll through these. I'm not going to roll through all of them. I'm just going to kind of talk about some highlights that stuck out to me, and then we're going to talk about some what's the word that I'm looking for? Some themes, some common threads that have happened so far. With the pick number 1, the Buffalo Bills took left outside linebacker Vaughn Powell, a big hitting linebacker that could not super fast, more of like a defensive end pass rusher in a 3-4, but he had all the good stats outside of speed and acceleration. A really good player for the Buffalo Bills. It will be exciting to see what he can build around him. The listen to me, the LA Rams took cornerback Jacoby Sanders. I really like this kid. He's got a lot to offer. He's really going to help that Rams team. They've had a good draft even this late. This early in the draft. They've had a good draft up to this point. The other one
was number 1 on my board.
Very good player, right? He had size, he had speed, he could cover. He is the best cornerback in this draft. I didn't like the Eagles who took no, that's not who I want. The Vikings. They took quarterback Mitchell Weston. Not a very good pick. They're going to struggle to kind of get him wrapped around and get him ready to play and get him to be able to be a very good field general here in the OMFL. The Packers took middle linebacker Ramsey. I don't know who just joined us or what's going on, but you got to mute yourself. Got to help me out with the mute. Because if you don't, we're going to just hear things over and over and over and over. And, it's Mr. Chaotic, maybe. Chaotic, you got to mute yourself. I don't think that was you making the noise, but just mute yourself just to help us out a little bit. All right, let's see if we can get rolling some more. I love this middle linebacker, P.L. Ramsey, that the Packers took. Very good player. Will be a playmaker for him. A really good draft pick for him. Lions took right in Devon Patton. He didn't love the pick, but I think it does get better for him. Then you see a little bit of a run on defensive linemen here. Patton, Vaughn over to the Texans, Castadilla over to the San Francisco 49ers. Another quarterback, this one was a little bit of a head-scratcher, pick number 10 of the first round. I mean, he had the player of the year with his quarterback last year. I know that the guy was not a great player, but player of the year, and you just get replaced with the 10th pick in the first round. That's a head-scratcher for me.
Yeah, it kind of came across my mind too, and when I seen that, but if he kind of struggled a little bit with that Player of the Year, if he can improve that position, because I know Kelly is not quite exactly the best overall statted quarterback in the game right now, and even with the seasons that he's had with him there in Denver. But if this guy comes across and has better stats than what Kelly has now, then we all may better watch out.
Yeah, Taron Gator goes over to the Carolina Panthers. Of course, they replace their record-holding Player of the Year in receiver. Help me with his name. What was his name? Crap.
Gator?
No, the
Taron
receiver that he's replacing.
Oh, DJ, I want some more.
Yeah, DJ Moore, that's right, who got traded over to the Arizona Cardinals, but he gets replaced with Gator. It's going to be a really good player. Then you see a run on defensive line, especially defensive tackle, and then offensive line start flying off the board. And like most positions, you start seeing them fly off the board here. Guys are starting to get scared, and they start grabbing at offensive linemen. And there's not a whole lot left. Left outside linebacker Alex Earl goes to Kansas City. What'd you think about him? That was your pick.
I was expecting him to be a little bit faster than he was. He came out graded out as 77 speed. But this guy is he's a prototypical 3-4 outside linebacker. He's a little small, but he's got quickness, and he has the ability to put his hand on the ground also. And so he's going to be a pass rush specialist. He's a power. I think he has like 86 rush power already. And so he's going to be a pass rush specialist for the Chiefs going into season 83.
The Seahawks get another stud cornerback to go and an already loaded defense over there for the Seattle Seahawks. And then you start to see a couple halfbacks come off here to the Redskins. Again, another big run on defensive linemen and offensive linemen. Tons of left tackles, right guards, right tackles are all coming off of the board. There's really not a ton left in the offensive linemen. But that's going to open up other positions. You haven't seen a ton of receivers go off the board. We've only had one tight end come off of the board. Only 2 quarterbacks come off the board. So it's really opened up some other positions here.
Yeah, there's some gems still out there in those other positions and stuff. Like I said, the big men, especially this half of the second round, has just been, either on the D line or offensive line. It's getting fast and furious right now, so guys are getting antsy and they're panicking now. Like they're waiting for the clock to click to get onto their pick so they can get their guy that they want.
Let me just make a couple of changes here with my little screen. Sorry that it's going to minimize like that for you guys. Yeah, and then the last couple of picks here, my Saints took the defensive Sanchez Sensei that I talked about. The Jets took defensive tackle Lee Jacoby, and then the Titans take left outside linebacker Deshaunta Baker. And we are 2 minutes from the start of season 83 draft. What did you think about the draft so far? Again, a big run on offensive linemen, which is a little shocking, but overall, what are your thoughts?
I think probably one of the strongest points of this draft is going to be the offensive line, even though I don't think there's going to be like a ton of superstars. We did see a few come off, I think, on the right tackle side. I think there was 2 superstars that came off on the right tackle side, but I think there's going to be some good quality starting linemen come out of this draft that you'll see probably get recognized, possibly even in the end of the year awards like Pro Bowl and stuff like that. I think we're going to see some of these guys' names, so it's not going to be the last time we're going to see them come across. I think probably one of the weakest spots, though, except for like the couple of starting caliber cornerbacks, I think the weak spot's going to be the cornerbacks in this draft. So it's going to be interesting to see, though, how everybody visions and sees how each player fits into their scheme as we go forward.
What do you see as the best positions out there? Or let me ask this before we go best position. What do you see being? Oh, no, don't do that. Sorry. What do you see to be the best side of the ball first, offense or defense, and then depending on what side you pick, what's the best position on that side of the ball?
Well, I'm going to go with offense. I think the offensive side has uh, a lot of, I guess, playmakers, and we'll see a lot of guys that's going to be making an impact right away, I believe, in this next season. Um, right now, the strongest point is just what I just said. I think the offensive line is going to be the strongest point of this draft. There's quite a few, uh, uh, red tiered players, linemen still left on the board and stuff, and I think there's enough that you could actually rebuild your line. There is some playmakers on wide receivers still out there as well. I know guys are looking for that 95 speed guy, but just take a look at Massimo. Massimo is the perfect example of this. He has like an 86 speed or 87 speed wide receiver, and he's just dominated in the red zone with this guy, like 19 touchdowns, and got a Pro Bowl vote in, and voted into the Pro Bowl. So definitely see offense as being the strongest point.
It is 8 o'clock Central Time, and you know what that means. It's actually 8:01 now. It is time to hit resume draft, and here we go. The draft has been resumed. Should pick in here, at least I hope, unless it gives me an option. We'll see. Yep, we're ready to go. So the Patriots are on the clock. Pick 24 in the second round, so almost a full 2 rounds we were able to get done in the pause draft. And
that's awesome.
I'm going to just try to do my best here to keep up. And whenever I'm not talking, I'm going to let Mr. Maniac fill in because I'm going to try to keep my draft board updated so I can talk about the picks as they come in here. Yeah, I really think that the best side of the ball really is going to be on the defense. I think that's where you can get the best bang for your buck right now. I think that's where it's at right now. Matter of fact, Martez Lockhart, let's talk about him real quick. Out of Boise State, 6'6", 309, goes over the Chicago Bears. More of an impact run blocker, which I like. He did 34 in the bench press. He ran a 4.99 40, so less than or sub 5 second 40. He should be a really good player. I don't know if you'll have an opportunity to maybe tell me any picks that people post, but I'd love to hear picks as guys kind of post those picks. Again, you might see some weird stuff pop up here. We're going to be live on YouTube. I've got the chat up. But with me moving around, looking at spreadsheets and looking at Discord and everything, you'll probably see the stupid menus pop up or it's going to flash from time to time. Unfortunately, I don't have like a big 3-computer setup to run all this stuff. We're doing all this from a laptop. And then here soon, the wife is going to kick me out of my room. So I'll have to pause and go off and do that. And then I got to pause to do my draft picks. But I really think that the bang for the buck's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. Another thing, Maniac, or maybe Bill or anybody that's around that could help Maniac, because he's going to be doing a lot too. Help just tell us who we can skip here and kind of try to help us stay on top of that. I'll get this draft moving as fast as we can. The picks in, Linnell Sylvan, defensive tackle out of Vanderbilt, and the defensive tackle run continues to happen here.
Yeah, everybody's looking for that big man to clog that middle of the line. Obviously, this last season, everything was kind of surrounded with the power run and stuff, so guys are trying to counter that this draft.
This is a guy I had my eye on. I almost went with him. I decided for various reasons not to. 6'5", 300 pounds, 22 years old, out of Vanderbilt, a run stopper. Going to be really good at getting off of blocks and pursuing the play. Did 38 on the bench press, so he's probably around 90 strength or so. A really good player. Should help solidify that Patriots defensive line that I'm sure has gotten older over the years here. Nico Lewis, right outside linebacker, goes to the Panthers. Let's see what I can get on Mr. Nico. Nico Lewis, oh, nope, right there. 6'4", 261 out of Southern Miss. Going to be a speed guy, 4'6", 440. Pretty weak a little bit, 19 on the bench press. A very powerful hitter, though. A guy that can really get after the quarterback, a speed guy. So something that you no longer have to worry about since you ran away from the NFC South, but somebody I'm definitely going to have to worry about. I haven't heard from Mackey. He was in the hospital, so we're hoping that he's okay. And I keep handing out jobs to you like you got nothing better to do. But another thing will be as these picks come in, I doubt I'm going to be able to keep up. So if you happen to be able to keep like yours up to where or something up where you can actually see some of those picks, you can help me keep up, and I'll try to update my draft board as we go here.
We do have a pick in for Nico Lewis, 73 overall, 76 tackle, 82 hit power, 83 speed, 86 acceleration, so good speed for the outside linebacker. 80 pursuit, 79 finesse, block shed 75. So, and his strength is weak, obviously from his combine number 73. So, but a solid pick.
Really good pick there for the Carolina Panthers. Demetrius Walker, strong safety, goes over to the Ravens. Let's see what I can get on him. Mr. Walker, 5'10", 208 out of Kentucky. More of a zone player. Did 19 on the bench press. Pretty good coverage guy. Can pursue the tackle. Not going to be a big hitter, but can wrap up with the best of them. So a good pick going to arguably one of the top 3 defenses that we've seen here in the OMFL so far.
Yeah, definitely a really good, solid pick there. Interested to see what he does in this season.
Yeah, we hope that Mr. Mackey is doing okay. He had a kidney stone, which I've had 2 of. Those will change your life forever, so hopefully he'll bounce back here pretty quick. We got the Miami Dolphins on the clock, Vikings, Seahawks, 49ers, and we got some picks coming in, and I missed the Dolphins pick. Ace Barrett is going to be your pick, though, for the Minnesota Vikings, so maybe you can help me keep up a little bit. Ace Barrett, 6'6". I don't love the pick out of Washington, a power guy. He did 32 in the bench press. I think that they were better overall players. It's going to be more of a run block guy, like a pass protector, a little bit like combo of both, but a power guy, 24 years old. So the Vikings there trying to rebuild that offensive line. Did you happen to be able to get that Miami pick?
The Miami Dolphins selected wide receiver Xavier Dixon.
So Mr. Dixon, let me find Mr. Dixon. Where are you at, friend? Oh, that's tight ends. I'm not going to be able to find him under tight ends, Nate, you dummy. Where's he at? Mr. Dixon? There are so many receivers. What's the name one more time?
Xavier Dixon. Yeah, there was like almost like 100 wide receivers I think we had put in. It was crazy.
Oh, it's going to be up here. Here's Mr. Xavier. He was on my list, 6'4", 270 pounds. Out of Tulane right here in my hometown. Ran a 4.4 940, 16 on the bench press. I love his size at 6'4". He's a great short route runner, a possession guy. I love this pick for Miami to go with that quarterback that they have. That's really going to add a little something to that team that has been special the last few years. Demetrius Spencer, too. Demetrius is going middle linebacker over to the San Francisco 49ers. Please let me know if I miss anything. It's hard to, I can't look at all these things at the same time. But Demetrius Spencer, 6'1", 238 pounds, 22 out of Marshall, pass coverage cat, a really good tackler, great in zone coverage, ran a 4.7 340, 25 at the bench press. Not going to be a burner, but should be plenty fast enough to be able to compete. And that San Francisco 49ers defense is trying to rebuild as they really had like a down year, a year that was not like a normal year for them. So, yeah, we'll see what San Francisco can do there to kind of rebuild that team.
All right, I got a couple of updates on
yeah,
players
let us know.
Picked. The offensive lineman Ace Barrett, he is actually a star development player.
And that was the pick I said I didn't like, right? Where'd he go?
Yeah, he went to the Vikings.
That's right, the Vikings.
84 strength, 80 run block, 75 pass block, 78 run block power, 72 finesse on the run block, and then 80 pass block power. So
Hello?
Are you there?
Now I'm back. I have no clue what just happened.
You just dropped off the face of the air.
I lost complete audio for both me and you guys. I have zero clue what just happened, but we are back. I've missed a ton of picks. Let me go ahead. I'll tell you the last one I see here. Aaron Robinson right in for the Chicago Bears. I'll do that one, and then maybe you can help me catch up a little bit. Mr. Robinson, 6'4", 22 out of Indiana State, a power rusher, a guy that can really get after the quarterback. He did 25 in the bench press, ran a 4.8 240, so a quick guy there coming off the edge for the Chicago Bears. I like that pick, probably like what I would consider a red chipper type of a player. Should be a good pick there for Chicago. What do you have that I might have missed?
Okay, pick number 31, the Bengals, strong safety Ben Green, and that was pick 31 for the Bengals. And then pick number 32 in second round was the middle linebacker Amaral Newhouse, went to the Falcons.
All right, let me grab. Hold on, let me. These spreadsheets are taking forever. Let me get to that middle linebacker. And that went to the Falcons, right?
Yes.
So a good player there. Ran a 4.7 140, a zone coverage guy. It's funny that he went there, especially with the money he has invested in his guy. All right, what came after that?
Let's see. I got to refresh my deal, too, because they're picking them so fast, it's not even updating fast.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up.
Let's see. We have the Rams with the second pick. And the third round, middle linebacker Rodney Canty.
All right, yeah, I got that one. Good player for the Rams, and again, they're trying to really build up those skill positions, and I think that catches us up to where we might be now.
Yeah, the
wide receiver. Yeah, Crosby Henderson going over to the Eagles. The Eagles had a really tough season. Not the season that you expected from Savante, but I think that this might be the bounce back season here for him. And he's really going to be able to get things put back together. And now we got center Evan Kempfert. Center from Vanderbilt goes over to the Dallas Cowboys, your team. Let me see what I got on him. Mr. Evan is a agile guy, 308 pounds, 6'3", 22 years old. Did 27 the bench press, so he's not going to be a really big, strong guy. He's going to have to work on that strength. A run block guy, going to be pretty good in the run block, but he's going to have to work on those pass block skills. I like the pick, especially here. Are we already in the third round?
We are in the third round.
Already in the third round. That's a good pick for the third round. I like that pick.
Yeah, I got an update on wide receiver Xavier Dixon. He has 89 speed, 83 acceleration, 84 catch. Catch in traffic is 85. Short route 92, so this guy can get in and out of those short, quick routes. And medium route 78, agility 89. He's definitely got speed. He may take a couple of seconds to get going off the line, but he's definitely a good pick there for the Dolphins, 77 overall. I
love that pick, especially was that in the third round, right? Was that a third round pick? Or a late second round pick? That might have been a late second. Either way, that's a good pick here. That could easily be a first round top 20 pick. Lambert, thank you, Lambo. Thanks for turning into the stream, buddy. There's so much going on. I can't even begin to explain how difficult it is to do all of this on a laptop and keep up. It's normally a little bit easier because I normally just highlight players and highlight them in red. But this year I'm trying to delete them as we go so I can keep up a little bit there. Yeah, I'm a little late. That's what he's saying. Kevin was saying it was a late second. Brent Kubek, the first fullback off of the board there, and they had some good fullbacks. I think somebody's going to grab them some nice players. Brett is going to be a blue chipper, 5'11", 248 pounds out of Texas, a utility guy, can probably even run the ball. He was their top 5 all-time rusher in Texas. 29 on the bench press, ran a 4.7 440. Nice pick there for the Green Bay Packers because we know that he loves one thing. What does he love, Maniac?
He likes speed and he likes to run the ball.
He loves his running backs. He loves his running backs. Morris Manyard, right guard out of East Carolina, goes over to Texas. Let me see what I can find on him. But yeah, we do know that Maniac loves his running backs. He drafts 50 of them. 6'3" Maynard is 22 years old, 337 pounds, a power guy out of East Carolina. Going to be really good at run blocking, strong at the power of attack. Did 30 on the bench press. And they're trying to rebuild that offensive line. And again, this is a draft that you can really, I think I proved it last year, you can rebuild your offensive line in one draft if you hit it just right. And with back-to-back picks here and that run that we've seen on offensive linemen, why not go after this pick and try it? So good job by the Houston Texans there, who really also is investing in that defense. Now, Outlaw had left his Bears, not by choice, just life, and came right back and took the Texans, and he's really invested into that defense. I love the safety that he picked up because we know that Outlaw loves his safeties, and that's the side of the ball that he shines on. He really shines when it comes to the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, he definitely loves to get the hogs and the guys in the. He always seems to do real well with building from that point. So.
Look at the name on this kid here. Lambrick Young, 6'5", 217 pounds, out of Ohio State, a possession guy, but we've seen with Miami that can be a good pick. I love this guy just like I did the Miami kid. He ran a 4.58 40, so he's not going to be super duper fast, not great on the bench press, but man, a tall guy. He's going to run those slants, those fades, those like quick ends. He's going to run those really, really good there. So they took a shot there. Avoiding the speed, but getting a playmaker that can make some plays for them. Barry Jones, wide receiver for the Raiders. So now we're starting to see a run here on, whoops, that's not what I want to do. Let me undo that. A little run here on the skill positions as we see a couple of receivers go. Barry Jones out of Richmond, 22 years old, 221, 6'5", really good hands, great short route runner, ran a 4.61 40, did 23 in the bench press. So two big, tall, lanky, possession-type receivers coming off the board right here. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do either. See, I keep messing all this up here.
You got the Broncos took cornerback. I didn't even get to catch his name.
Josh Hamilton.
Yeah.
I just seen it. It just flashed on my screen because that's the good thing about me lagging a little bit. I can catch some of those. Let's see what I can find on Mr. Hamilton. I don't see him anywhere. Of course, receiver and cornerback, there's only 50,000. A 5'11", 209 out of Tennessee, a zone guy. He did run a 4.58 40, 18 in the bench press. He's going to be really good in press coverage, can really press a guy and then get off into zone. So the Denver Broncos there trying to invest into them. I have wide receiver Walter Crowell, halfback. Is that the next pick?
Yeah, halfback Walter Crowell to the to the Steelers.
Yeah, and I think that the Seahawks proved last year that you can still get a really good running back that doesn't have that burner speed. 4'5", 340, 19 on the bench press, an elusive running back, 5'11", 211 out of Iowa State. And Pittsburgh, again, trying to have that bounce back season that they did a couple years ago and really trying to rebuild that team. Another team that's did pretty decent here in the draft is the Cleveland Browns and Chaotic. He seems to know he's got his plan. Oh, my controller disconnected. Need to reconnect that. He has a plan, and he's working that plan, and he's trying to get that team to fit his needs. He's going to be the guy that can make a few plays here on offense here and there, but really win on defense. But he's really invested this draft into his offensive line. And again, he goes Gregory Saunders, left tackle at East Carolina.
Yeah, we got tons of picks coming in from guys. The first one I've got is Aaron Robinson right in for the Bears.
Hold on real quick, Maniac. I'm going to let you talk. You just talk about picks. I'm going to move to a different area since my wife is kicking me out, and then I will be right back.
All right. Good pick here by the Bears. Looks like an 84 power power move guy here. It's at the right end. 77 speed, 78 tackle, 79 strength. Little weak, but he's definitely got the capability to be a nice pass rusher in passing situations. And then you got a new house that was drafted by the Falcons, 82 speed. I gotta pull this up here a little closer. 77 block shedding, 78 hit power, 84 zone coverage. So this guy is going to be a nightmare trying to get the ball across the middle. The Cowboys drafted center Evan Kempfert, 83 strength, 82 run, 80 pass block, 81 finesse pass, and then 82 finesse run block. So a solid lineman there for the Cowboys. Morris Maynard, running or guard. I'm sorry, kind of pick's kind of small, so I'm having a hard time visualizing this here. Morris Maynard, 73 overall. He's actually a 73 overall power blocker. So that's going to be a good, solid pick for Mr. Outlaw. And then Lambert Young, 87 speed, 86 acceleration. So again, guys that 90 something speed for the wide receivers. You can, like I said, you see Massimo with those lower speed wide receivers just dominate. This guy could have that potential. Really good stats there for him. The Seahawks pick up Stephen Perdenish. I probably didn't say that right, but 91 strength, 76 block shed, 83 tackle, 65 finesse move, 69 power move. It's a solid guy here that can actually use to build up and really get things going there. Then you have Barry Jones, wide receiver for the Raiders, star development player, 87 speed, 84 acceleration. Really a solid pick there for the Raiders with that star development. We could see this guy in that type of offense that he has really build him up as the season goes along.
All right, I'm back, my friend. You keep talking. Oh, no, it's your pick. So you can't keep talking. You need to go make your pick. Oh, crap. You see, this is what happens when we're not able to help each other out. There's so much going on. Guys, I know you're going to hate this, but I'm going to have to pause. I'm just going to pause. I'm going to let Maniac make his pick. So the draft is paused. Look, it's just me and him. I had to move and let him make his pick. We go to the next guy. I'm gonna catch up so I can make my pick. There's too much going on here, but we're gonna get caught up. So please, I've never done this. I've never paused the draft, but look, we're trying to put in the work to make this work. So yeah, please just be patient with us as we kind of do that really quick.
All right, I got it in. So thank you for doing.
Let me just catch up my draft board. So
yeah,
I think
those
quarterback
picks were flying off the board so fast. Holy cow!
Yeah, and with you being by yourself, that's not a whole lot of fun. So let me just I don't know if you can read off and catch me up. I do have it up because I have control of my TV. Quarterback Henry Walden is the last guy. Let me get over here to him. It's hard for me to
go to transactions and pull up the draft. Okay, what did you say was the last one that you had?
I think I got us caught up. Wide receiver Malcolm Cannon.
Okay. Then you had Henry Walden right before that to the Raiders.
Yep, and then Mastard I think is the next pick, right? And then it's my turn. And then
yes.
I'll make this very, very quick. I just need to look at my draft board and see what's going on here. This is the tough part. And my wife asked me to move in the middle of my pick. And so, yeah, thank you guys for being understanding. It sucks that we had to do this, but we're going to get there. And then I'll be able to catch up with all the messages. And, yeah, we should be good now for the rest of the night. If I can get my computer to stop going in circles. All right, let me look real quick. I'll let you do some talking. I'm going to look real quick at what I got here.
Okay. A lot of picks coming off the board. Gregory Sanders, 73 overall, left tackle, solid stats, 80 strength, 80 run block. Little weak in the strength, but that can improve with some XP there. 79 run block finesse, 78 run block power or pass block power. I'm sorry. Pass block finesse, 81 lead block. So an all around a solid pick there for the Browns and on the offensive line. And thank you guys for reminding me my pick was up there. So Malcolm Cannon, wide receiver. Went to the Giants. Ooh, this guy's going to be a pretty solid pick there. 91 speed, 97 acceleration, 74 catch. So he's got some work to be done on the catching and route running abilities, but definitely an overall solid pick there. Probably will be playing the slot, I'm imagining, there for Pepper and the Giants.
All right, let me talk about my pick really quick. I went Bennett Caldwell. I needed a tight end. I don't love him. 74 overall. What is he? He's a quick, which will be nice. Only 79 speed. 78 catch I like. 781 short route running. So all that fun stuff. Let me get the draft back going before I get murdered. I know guys are probably having a hissy fit, but I needed to do that. We needed to get caught up. We're caught up. We should be good. I'll be able to help him stay on top of his pick. He'll be able to help me stay on top of mine. And we should be good to go after that. So thank you guys for being understanding and being patient with us. It's a lot of work to do these shows. So let me catch up where we are now. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks for blasting it out on Twitter. Chester, thanks for churning in. I said Chester, but it's Chest Searcher. We are a CFM coach only, custom coach. I know my wife's going to text me here. You're being too loud. Stop talking so loud. But we're going to try to catch everybody up, see where we're at here. We are at the Jaguars pick. Cardinals, you're next. Then you got the San Diego Chargers, the Chicago Bears, New England Patriots, Dallas Cowboys, and Houston Texans. I can't believe it. It's only 8:30, and we're already halfway through the fourth round. It's going to be over before we know it. And then I'm going to have a big round, or I should say a big run on picks. So you may be doing a whole lot of talking. Oh, man, now we can catch our breath for just a second. What position do you still like that's out there? And then I'll kind of talk about the ones I've got my eye on.
Well, let's see. When I went to make my pick quickly, I was looking at my draft board, and it's pretty decimated and stuff. But so far right now, I've got a couple of high grades. One is a running back. Another one, I think there's still a couple of really solid linemen out there. And then also I see that there could be a quarterback or two that could be had if a team is needy. Really needing a good backup quarterback or someone that if your quarterback's injured prone and stuff, there's a couple guys difference and maybe with a little XP in a couple years could possibly take the reins over for your team. So there's some potential out there. Are you there? You cut out again.
That's because I hit the mute button. Can you hear me now? Jesus, this is such a terrible night. It's like we've never done this before. I promise. Normally I have my stuff together, but Buck Simniski, quarterback out of Georgia, goes over to the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's hard to believe. It feels like we just started, but we're almost to the fourth quarter, the fourth round here. And guys, man, guys are starting to think about depth already here. But Emory Edwards, cornerback, goes over from North Carolina, goes over to the Arizona Cardinals. Let me see what I got on him. Mr. Emory. Emory Edwards, where you at, buddy? Here you are, cornerback, 6'0", 190 pounds, 23 years old, going to be a man-to-man guy, ran a 4.3 940. Clearly, Mo is looking for speed. Mo got in a lot of trouble with that defensive FPR last year, so hopefully that's a little bit better. I just missed that pick that was up for the Chargers. I do have the Bears, Lemke Bradley, right tackle out of Arkansas State. I'll get what's on him if you can tell me who that Chargers pick was. Mr. Bradley, here he is, 6'7", 313 out of Arkansas State, a pass protector. It's going to be not that strong, 25 on the bench press, but more of a finesse pass blocking guy. Probably somebody that you're going to want to move to like left tackle instead of right tackle. Usually you like to have those run blocking guys at right tackle and pass blocking guys at left tackle, so look for him to make a little bit of a change there for the Chicago Bears. And now you got the New England Patriots, Dallas Cowboys, Houston Texans, Miami Dolphins, Minnesota Vikings, Seattle Seahawks, and Indianapolis Colts. Man, what a draft. I feel like my head's spinning. It's been so much that's been going on. Were you able to get that Chargers pick?
Right in Turney Whitney.
All right, let's see what we got on Mr. Whitney.
And that pick that the Bears made, the lineman is actually a star development guy.
That's crazy. I would not have guessed that. Mr. Whitney, 6'7", 319 out of Oklahoma, a run stopper. He did 34 in the bench press, so really good there. 5'0", 40. It's going to be a guy that can get off of tackles pretty decently, tackle pretty good, and pursue the ball. Will be a really good run stopper there for them. Dallas Cowboys go Turner Hoover. Your first kicker is off the board, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. I can't believe one is already gone off the board, but the Dallas Cowboys clearly have a need there. I don't even know why I'm worrying about taking kickers off of my board, but I am. It bothers me if I don't. Mr. Hoover is out of Illinois, 24 years old, 5'9", super strong leg. He will be just fine here in the OMFL and probably be kicking for the rest of this Madden for the Dallas Cowboys. That's going to bring up Outlaw and his Houston Texans, Miami Dolphins, Vikings, Seahawks, Colts, Eagles, and your Chiefs. So you might want to go ahead and get ready for that. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into the stream or being on Discord. We super, super appreciate it. Mason Goldberg, greatest name in the world for a middle linebacker from Mississippi Valley State, goes over to the Houston Texans. Mr. Mason, 6'1", 252, a field general guy. Ran a 4.7, 640, did 27 in the bench press. A little bit of a slower guy. Maybe have to bounce out to outside linebacker and rush the passer, but should be pretty good for them. I'm even getting PlayStation messages now. I don't know what that's all about. But stop, leave me alone, people. I've got too much going on here. But Mason Goldberg's going to go over to Houston as he continues to invest into that defense. Outlaw knows what his strong point is, and he's really investing in that strong point.
Well, and this is something, since I'm in the AFC West, I don't want to see, but that pick that went to Bill and the Chargers, this guy's a quick development right in. He's got some pretty decent stats. His best attribute is his strength, 88 strength, 77 acceleration, 75 power move, 76 block shed, and 78 tackle. But this guy's does have the foundation to build on. Maybe he's seeing this guy being opposite side of Bosa one day.
Brian Bosa, the Defensive Player of the Year also. Brian Lehan, strong safety out of Washington State, goes to the Miami Dolphins, 209, 23 years old. A zone guy, ran a 4.5, 4.40, did 25 in the bench press. I know D. Wayne is going to love that about him. A really good player going over to the Miami Dolphins, as they have been very, very smart about their picks in this draft so far, and a team and a player that has been really good this entire Madden, really making plays over there in the AFC. Ronell wide receiver out of Mountain Union. Let me see what I can find on him. Rynell Mallette, 6'2", 239, a red zone threat guy. He ran a 4.45 40, did 17 on the bench press. Very good hands, had some spectacular catches, can really hold on to the ball in traffic. I like that pick for Duvall and his Vikings as he really tries to rebuild that offense and really try to just kind of all that trash that was talked on last year's show. And he needs to step up and actually make some of that trash talk matter. Carlos Gerald, a defensive tackle out of Louisville, goes over to the Seattle Seahawks, and man, they love their defensive tackles and their defensive line in Seattle. You can see what he's doing. He's building a big, strong defensive line that's going to attack people. 24 years old, 306, 6'1", 35 on the bench press, ran a 5.11 40. The prototypical defensive lineman that you're going to see Mo pick for his Seattle Seahawks, and it is not hard to understand what these guys are doing. You're up in 2 picks, just as a reminder. These guys are building these offensive lines, building these defensive lines, because no matter how much we love the touchdowns and the big plays, that's where football is won or lost, is up front. I mean, look, when my team was rolling and I went on like that 10 or 11 game winning streak, it was because the offensive line was winning. And when I got swept away in the playoffs and lost 2 of my last 3 games in the regular season, it was because my defensive line and offensive lines were getting dominated. It is where games are won and lost, and you can really win or lose games here in the OMFL as well. I think that there's still a lot of good players left on the defensive line. Not a ton of great linebackers. Still some pretty good cornerbacks if you can look past the speed aspect. And then going over to the offense, a handful of wide receivers, tons of fullbacks. I think any fullback that goes this draft is going to be just fine. And then I think there's still some offensive linemen that can make plays. Sanchez McClure, wide receiver. Let's see what I can find on Mr. McClure. Here we go. Sanchez McClure, 6 foot, 184 out of Cincinnati, a deep threat guy. Ran a 4.35 40, so you can see why the Indianapolis Colts invested in him. It's always funny to see these guys go late in the draft here that have nothing good outside of their speed. Look, really good hands, pretty decent holding on to the ball, but only a deep threat. Will still be a very good player, though, because Dwayne is extremely efficient. He's going to use that guy to get you out of position. He's going to use that guy to test you deep, and it's going to be interesting to see what Dwayne can do with that rookie. He probably won't win Rookie of the Year, but I bet you he opens up that offense for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, just a couple quick things before I make my pick. Outlaws offensive lineman is a quick development. That's all I have on that because it doesn't show stats. And the defensive tackle for Seahawks is also quick development.
Eric Bird.
Make my pick.
Yep, Eric Bird, right guard, goes over to the Philadelphia Eagles out of Kentucky, a red chip type player, 6'5", 327. 28 on the bench press, going to be a finesse blocking guy both in the pass and the rush, but an impact guy. So pretty good pick there for the Philadelphia Eagles. I like it, especially here in late in the 3rd round. This is the last pick of the 3rd round coming up here for the Chiefs. As somebody robs him as he makes his pick. I don't know what's going on there. But thank you guys for turning into the stream. Thanks for being on Discord. We must have almost 30 guys combined between the two, both on YouTube and in the Discord chat. So thanks, everybody, for doing that. Dre Doyle, wide receiver, goes over to the Kansas City Chiefs. Why don't you talk about your guy?
Yeah, I went ahead and selected wide receiver here on the skill positions here.
Shocking. He ran a 4.39 40.
I got to start thinking about the future. I got a couple of wide receivers that are getting older, and plus, if one of them goes down, I'm going to have a little bit of a problem. So this guy's got 92 speed, 90 acceleration. So he's not just a fast burner, but he's got really good speed. 81 catch. 67 catch in traffic, so he's got a lot of things that needs to be worked on. 72 short route, 71 medium route, but agility 89. So look at him, probably playing special teams his first season on kickoff and punt return.
Yeah, he'll be just fine for you. I just realized that maybe the stream Oh, guys, I'm so sorry for that. I just realized that the stream is going to be frozen. You'll hear my voice, but you won't see the stream unless I'm on it. So guys have been staring at the same stream over and over. So I'll go back and forth. I apologize for that. I did not realize it did that. Clayton Perkins, defensive tackle for the Buffalo Bills from Nebraska, going over there as they continue to invest into that play. I like him. 302 pounds, 21, 6'3". Did 29 on the bench press, a speed rusher. So he'll be able to get after the quarterback over there in Buffalo and really help that team out.
Yeah, really good, solid pick for them there at Buffalo, shoring up that defensive line.
And the tacos are done.
Love me some tacos. Love me some tacos.
And they're not tacos. They were closed, but I was just making a joke. Let's see who we have here. We have Adrian Ellington left in. Let's see what I have on Mr. Ellington. Red chipper guy, 307, 6'7", so a big guy out of Memphis. Really good at power, really good getting off the block. He's a power rusher. 34 in the bench press, ran a 4.85 40. I like that pick a lot for the Houston Texans. And again, we've said it over and over 1,000 times tonight. He continues to invest in that defense. So again, my fault for freezing on the screen. I know that you guys could still hear our voice, but it was frozen on the screen, and I apologize for that. Morgan Wells, center, going over to the Philadelphia Eagles as he turns. Again, it's amazing, but guys have really turned their attention to the two defensive and offensive lines. Wells is a 6'4", 293 center out of Kentucky, a pass protector, did 26 on the bench press, 5'17", 40. A finesse type of guy, can cut block you though and get some good blocks there. So the Eagles are investing into that offensive line. Now you have the Atlanta Falcons, Seattle Seahawks, Green Bay Packers, Houston Texans, Detroit Lions. My screen was popping up. The Los Vegas Raiders, and the Denver Broncos. Too many teams with new names that normally I know, and then just because it's tonight, I don't know them. And I got like 7,000 messages. I don't understand why guys are PMing me because stop sending me pictures. I don't want your pictures no more. I cannot announce this on Twitter any longer. It is live draft show. That's where they're being announced. I got to hurry up and get back to where I was because you guys are going to be frozen, and I don't want you to be frozen. All right, Chris Morris, tight end, goes over to the Atlanta Falcons. Let's see what I got on him. Still some...
Tight end from Texas.
Chris Morris right here, 23 years old, 267 out of Texas, 6'5", so a big guy, ran a 4.74 40, did 16 on the bench press, and you see the Atlanta Falcons, who are actually really good at using their tight ends, investing there. Cornerback Parker Bowie goes from North Illinois, goes over to the Seattle Seahawks. See what I got on him?
Mo's still building that defense.
Yeah, he continues to rebuild that defense each and every year. 2'11", 5'10", 21 years old. Really good press guy. He's a zone guy, so he can press you and get off. He ran a 4.54 40, did 19 in the bench press. So 5'10", a little undersized for what Seattle normally likes to do, but still an extremely good player. And he'll be able to make plays for the Seattle Seahawks. They continue to invest into that defense. He knows that, look, he's not getting any younger anytime soon, and so you have to continue to replenish, rebuild that depth, save some money that way. He's been good about doing that.
Yeah, and he got a solid pick out of that guy, too. I'm here talking, and he would say he would rather have this pick where he picked the first-round cornerback, because I think the first round had an 85 or 84 speed or something like that. But this guy's got 90 speed, 88 acceleration, 80 zone coverage, and 84 press. So a solid pick at this point in the draft.
What's his man coverage?
Man coverage is 75. So
yeah,
plenty
good enough. No, he can go in and play nickel and dime right away. Ethan Morris, a quarterback out of Rhode Island, goes over to the Green Bay Packers. A strong-arm kid. Not really too impressive, but look, he's got to start trying to figure out something there, as I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is going to be retiring soon. DeMarcus Sheriff, right guard out of Louisville, 75 overall, going to the Houston Texans. And look, I don't know if he's got somebody drafting for him or who he's got in his pocket that's helping him, but he's had a very impressive draft so far. DeMarcus Sheriff, 6'2", 313, 22 out of Louisville. Did 29 in the bench press. We're in a 5'1", 240. I'm going to be more of a finesse type guy, but you can move him out to tackle if you need to. I personally find it hard to have those finesse guys inside, but they still work unless you're playing like a power team. And again, he's investing in his defense. He's investing in his defensive line, and you see all of these offensive linemen coming off the board here. Evan Duran, right tackle. I'm sorry, I paused because I seen 4 Seahawk picks back to back, just like his championships. But this guy's out of Temple, 21 years old, 325 pounds, did 26 in the bench press. I still think he's a red chipper type of guy, impact block type of guy. He's going to be like a lead blocker. I think he'll be a really good tackle. Again, somebody that you might think about moving out to left tackle there for the Detroit Lions, who had a down season after a couple of up seasons, and they're looking to bounce back. And again, like a lot of people, it's the common theme so far, really investing into those offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah, this is kind of where I thought that the strength was going to be. And these guys that keep pulling out these star development, quick development guys, 75 overall guys on the offensive line heading into the 4th round. I mean, that to me, that kind of solidifies what I thought thinking about these offensive linemen.
I just happened to look at the Discord chat so that I could go ahead and clear all my messages, and I literally read Mo say, "Holy crap, I have 4 picks in a row." How do you not know that you have 4 picks in a row? Left guard Ross Bonan from Oregon. Ducks just caught a hard-on somewhere in this world. He goes over to the Oakland Raiders. Let's see what we have on Mr. Ross. 6'3", 304. I think a little bit of a reach this part of the draft. 26 in the bench press. More of a run block guy, both in the power and the finesse. But he's probably going to need some work. A guy that I didn't think would go until the 5th round. So I just think a little bit early here. We had the Denver Broncos.
I think this is actually his CPU picking for him.
I got you. Denver Broncos, Pittsburgh Steelers, 4 Seahawks picks, and then the New York Giants. And then I think it'll be almost my turn, so I'll have to turn my attention to my draft board here. But lots of really good picks still. I've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 red chippers on offensive line still. So there's still a lot of potential that's out there. Joseph Barnett, defensive tackle out of Wisconsin, goes over to the Denver Broncos. I like this pick. 33 on the bench press, a power rusher, 22 years old, 303, 6'3". Really good in the power moves, can get off a block, can get after the quarterback. I like this pick a lot for the Denver Broncos, who again understood their weaknesses, understood what hurt them this past year, and they're trying to rebuild around that.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what Mo's going to do here with these 4 straight picks.
Probably pick with his eyes closed and grab 4 straight superstar development players that are 77 overall out of the block, because that's usually the way Mo does it.
I could see it. I'm banking on probably some wide receiver that's still on the board that's got some hidden speed somewhere, or I don't know. He may even draft Joey Martin, a backup to Joey Martin, just in case has an injury bug happen or something. I'm not trying to throw any voodoo sauce on your running back or anything, Mo. Just saying.
Voodoo sauce on a hamburger is actually really, really good. You'd be surprised. You'd probably like it. We've hit a little bit of a lull here. I'm not quite sure why. We were speeding through 3 rounds, and Here we've kind of slowed down a little bit with some CPU picks. Bryn Frazier, wide receiver out of Kansas, goes over to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's see what we got on him. Mr. Benny's a red chipper. I like this guy. 6 foot even, 194 pounds, 23 years old, a slot guy. He ran a 4.57 40, 12 on the bench press. Can really run those short route runs. Good catch in the traffic. Can even get those medium crossers. He's not going to be a burner, but he's going to be able to get separation and make plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are a little bit of a head scratcher. I'm not quite sure what they're missing, but they have kind of been all over the place. Quarterback, I think he grabbed a running back, receiver, so he's definitely going skill positions here. He's been one of the few teams that has bucked the trend and not really invested into the offense or defensive lines. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I want to say I saw one of his core defensive linemen in free agency this offseason too. So it'll be interesting to see if that pays off for him, or if his strategy backfires on him, because as we said, that starts with offensive and defensive line. So if you can't get to the passer, if you can't get into that secondary with the ball, then it tends to be a little hard at times.
LaMarcus Perry, 6'4", 228, out of Connecticut, a possession guy, 4.5, 540. Another red chipper. I like this pick a lot for an already really, really good team. He'll be a tall target for those 25 quarterbacks that play in Seattle that he got in free agency last year and signed them all to like 50-year contracts or something. So they've got themselves a big target there in LaMarcus Perry that they'll really be able to use to get the ball to, especially in the red zone. Look, Mo's so dangerous because of the running game, because of the big play defense. He's like Dwayne in a lot of ways. He's like D-Money, who won the championship this year. He's like the 49ers, the Bengals, a lot of teams in this league that are in the upper echelon. Is you have to play perfectly whenever you face them, and that's really, really difficult to play that perfect game.
Yeah, let me. I just seen one of the guys, there's a lot of pictures being posted, but one that just caught my eye was the kicker that Massimo took. 97 kick power, 88 kick accuracy. This guy is phenomenal. 79 overall. This guy will be nailing 60-yard, 65-yard kicks probably all season long.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is he'll be on a rookie contract for the next 4 years, and so he'll probably either get all the way through this Madden or at least almost all the way through this Madden, and he's done. And that's why I like going kicker, punter in the first draft or two, because you can really cut and save some money and have guys that can bang those big plays. We got the Seattle Seahawks for the next 2 picks, then the New York Giants, and then over to me. And I think I got a couple picks here in the 4th round. So I'm just going to take 1 second. I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to look around, see if I can get an idea of what's out there. And I'm going to let you talk about some of these Seahawks and Giants picks.
All right, let me get back up to some of these picks that have been coming in. Go back to the Seahawks, Carlos Gerard, or Gordard. And I'm having a hard time seeing some of these screens. Anyway, he's got 87 strength, 83 block shed. I believe it says 76 power moves. So really a solid pick there late. I believe that was in the 3rd round. And then Outlaw and his rebuild of the defensive and offensive line took Adrian Ellington, 74 overall. He's a power rusher, so that's going to be a nice guy that if he does the XP right and stuff, he'll build him up and be a solid addition to that defensive line for the next few seasons. And then the cornerback Parker Bowie for the Seahawks. Again, the pick shows 90 speed, 88 acceleration, 73 overall, 80 zone. This guy's going to be a real solid addition to that defense. And of course, Mo and that defense just very solid. Right guard DeMarcus Sheriff was picked by Outlaw. A good, solid pick there. A 75 overall. I don't think he said. I think he said in the chat he didn't like him as much as the others.
God
but,
dang it. Hold on. I cannot believe out of everything that he picks the one receiver that I wanted in Antoine Harrison. You son of a... I hope that he breaks his leg. That's what I hope. I can't believe that's the one. I was like, okay, this is going to fit perfectly. Nobody's going to go after this guy. The one... Cannot believe that. I'm so over Mo and his stupid winning ways.
He just wins on everything, you know? It's just like he blinks his eye, twitches his nose. I don't know what he does, but he comes up with some of the best picks and always seems to steal things right out from underneath you. So
I'm going to let you keep talking while I figure out what the hell I'm going to do now.
All right. Let's see. Pick here by the Denver Broncos, Joseph Barrett, 74 overall. Just normal development, but a nice guy to build around if he happens to get him up, especially in the quick development position. And then Mr. Mo picked Antoine Harrison, 93 speed, 87 acceleration, wide receiver, 60 overall, 73 catch, 68 catch in traffic. Really is a really good guy, actually. 93 agility. Agility, I think, is a hidden attribute that doesn't really get talked about a lot, and I think is important to a wide receiver, halfback. So those skill positions, I think it does make a difference. Nick Parsons, wide receiver, 88 speed, 92 acceleration, 80 catching. I don't know the size of this wide receiver, but it looks like he's a shorter type wide receiver. Agility, again, 91. And then Emmanuel Griffin, cornerback, 87 speed, 88 acceleration. I see this guy probably transitioning over to possibly a safety, free safety, with 83 zone, 82 press, 83 agility. I don't see anything on his actual tackling or his power and tackling and stuff, but a good core to build off of there. And then LaMarcus Perry, the Nate pick there, 88 speed, 87 acceleration, 84 short route, 82 catch in traffic, spectacular catch, 82. So that was a very good pick there. And then we have Pepper, cornerback Bradley Spatch, 75 overall. And we're talking, late fourth round pick there with a 75 overall player. Normal development, but he is a man-to-man. Don't see anything on his stats yet for his speed, but looks like he could be a solid pick.
Yeah, I scrambled because I had two offensive linemen as my backup plan when the receiver left. And as Madden does, they pull some players from the draft and put them in free agency. And guess what? Neither one of them were there in my draft. And so with 3 seconds left, I just picked the first player that I could find. So I went Bernard Bush, 73 overall. Says a good pick, 6'3", 291, normal Devo out of Virginia, power rusher. 78 power move, 76 speed, 85 strength, 79 tackle, 80 block shed. Not the worst player in the whole world, but definitely will be a backup player. And that, boys and girls, is what happens whenever you run the draft show and can't pay attention to your stuff. So if you could help me, I have Daniel, cornerback out of Mississippi State. I can't read. I should be mentally handicapped. So I got him. Tell me who I missed between the Seahawks picks all the way up to that last pick.
Okay, let's go draft transaction log. All right, Giants picked cornerback Bradley Spatch with the fourth round pick, 60th pick. And then you had your pick, Bernard Bush. And then the Jets selected cornerback and Bernie Daniel.
Yeah, whatever. Daniel. Deontay Rodenhauser, free safety, yep, out of UCF, 22 years old, 199, 5'10", ran a 4.77 40, 28 on the bench press. Going over to Jacksonville, so Jacksonville's trying to get those power hitting safeties to be back there. And then we see some more fullbacks go off the board. This one is Latrell Ayers, goes over to the New York Giants. Again, I like all the fullbacks in this draft. If I didn't already have one, I would pick one. This is a blue chipper guy, the last blue chipper I had on all my draft boards. He's out of Alabama, utility guy. Ran a 4.67 40, 27 on the bench press. He can do a little bit of everything there, as he did for Alabama. Rashawn Aiken, a tight end out of Villanova. They don't only play basketball there. He goes over to the San Diego Chargers. Mr. Aiken is 6'7", 248, ran a 5.07 40 and 24 in the bench press. So a good overall guy. You're never going to get the burners that you would wish that you could out of these drafts. Duncan Kamari goes over to the Chicago Bears, another red chipper tight end, 6'4", 248 out of Washington State. A possession guy, ran a 4.79 40 and 23 on the bench press. And so now you're starting to see that run on possession players. I think you might have talked about it while I was gone and moaning and groaning, and it is almost my pick again, so I got to go get a couple ready. But that receiver that Mo took that I was really hoping was 2 picks from me, did he post his stats?
He did. Let's see. What was that guy's name again? Was it Anton Harrison?
Yep. Hudson. I think it was Hudson. Maybe it's Harrison. Maybe you're right.
Okay, it looks like this was the last one. 60 overall, 93 speed, 87 acceleration, catching 73, catching traffic 68.
Yeah.
Medium route is only 61, so he's got a little bit of a.
Okay, I'm not mad about that so much. Good pick. Good pick, Mo.
He saved you.
We got the New England Patriots, the Rams, Ravens, Dolphins, and then back to my Saints. The Patriots, take Mike McLean, free safety out of Tennessee. Let me get that one for you, and then I'm going to let you do some talking while I go and figure out what the heck I'm going to do with my team. McLean, 204, 21 out of Tennessee, a hybrid guy, really good in pursuit, pretty good man coverage, used to be a linebacker for Tennessee. Ran a 4.64 40, so pretty quick. 22 in the bench press, 28.3 in the 3-cone. So really good player there that's going to go play for the New England Patriots and no comp. And the AFC just continues to get more powerful. And that's just where all the power has been those last couple of seasons until the Atlanta Falcons did their tank job and was able to rebuild their team. Not bitter at all about it.
All right, you got 2 picks in front of you. Let's say the New York Giants selected Bradley Spatch. He sent me a photo. 87 speed, 87 acceleration, 80 man zone, or man coverage. I'm sorry, man zone. 83 agility, so a little slow in the agility, quick turning. But 74 zone coverage, press 80, 69 tackle. So he's got a little bit of a streak to his tackle. So I could possibly see this guy maybe actually moving to free safety for him for depth. And then the cornerback for the New York Jets was a star development player, 72 overall, 89 speed, 88 acceleration, 91 jump, 76 zone coverage, 69 man, 88 agility. So he's got solid stats there, but definitely somebody that he can build with that star development over the next couple seasons.
Well, you know what I've noticed this draft is there's not a lot of super speedy receivers, right? There's only a handful of those guys really in this whole entire draft.
Yeah, I think there's only been maybe, excuse me, maybe 4, maybe 5 guys that came off the board that has been 90 or over. And I think you see the majority of the guys are going to be in that 85, 86 to 88 speed range. And maybe by the time we get to that third season or the last season and stuff, we may see a league full of slower type possession type players, and it could be interesting to see what happens then if that's the trend that Madden continues to carry us. All right, you're up on your pick.
I am up, and let me go figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
The tight end taken by the Chargers, Aiken, 76 overall guy. Let me pull up the picture a little closer. 76 catching, only 71 speed, 68 run block, 66 awareness, short route 79. Definitely doesn't have much speed for middle routes, but definitely has a good ability to be used in the red zone, short area, those third and short situations. A guy that maybe possibly could eventually build into something more.
All right, I went Julius Russell, left end run stopper out of Illinois State. There just really wasn't a whole lot else that caught my attention. I think I have a plan, best player available as we go here. But 292, 6'4", 21 years old. I do like that. It's a good pick. I got him at 110. I got him at 124. He's ranked 110, 73 overall. Kind of fell after his combine numbers. 70 power moves, 72 speed, 81 acceleration I like, 84 strength I like, 82 block shed I like, 79 tackles, not terrible. Awareness is dumb as a brick, but that's every player. Hit power 77, pursuit 81. I like those things. So, not a terrible pick here in the 4th round, but nothing to write home and brag about. If you don't mind, if you could catch me up to that point, what did I miss while I was away looking?
All right, pulling up transactions, and let's see.
Thank you guys again for tuning into the stream while Maniac helps me out. And thank you, Maniac, for being on. These shows would be impossible, or at least not nearly even remotely as good without people like Maniac being able to hop on and help me. And as we kind of get into the 5th or 6th round, we'll start taking some calls as we kind of wrap our brains around what's been going on here.
Okay, I don't know if you have Bears tight end Duncan Karamai.
Gazoon tight. Yes, I think I got him.
Okay. Free safety Mike McLean to the Patriots.
Yep.
Rams right guard Alan Schwartz.
All right.
Ravens Jamal Bellamy.
What position? It broke up.
Cornerback.
And what was the name one more time?
Jamal Bellamy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Dolphins selected halfback Jerome Harrington.
And then it was my pick?
And then it was your pick.
All right, catch me up to where we are right now.
All right, I got to back out and refresh it because
I like that Harrington pick. I was hoping he would slide a little bit further.
Halfback Sean Pratt went to the Packers.
Alrighty.
And then Falcons selected punter Trey Osborne.
Sweet, and that catches us up. We got Bengals, Saints, Bills, Rams, Eagles, Chiefs, Vikings. And so I'm going to knock this punter out real quick as he kind of goes out and gets him probably the best punter available out there. Then I'm going to take this time to kind of figure out what I need to do next. So,
all right, let me see if I can catch up on some photos that guys are sending in. The tight end, the Bears selected Karamai, but he's 79 speed. It's photo's so small I'm having a hard time to see it. 79 catch. Looks like 84 maybe acceleration possibly. But it's a solid pick there for him, and looks like that's probably one of the fastest tight ends I've seen so far in the draft.
I went Lester Hakeem, halfback out of Fresno State, a power back, just taking a flyer. I'm just best player available now. 80 brake tackle, 86 speed, 81 acceleration. So that acceleration is probably going to get him cut immediately. 83 agility, 87 carrying is good. 83 vision is really good. 78 truck, 81 stiff arm, 78 strength. So I like a lot about him, but that acceleration would need to be about 89 for me to be able to keep him. He's probably going to go practice squad for this year, but yeah, there's not a whole lot left out there.
Yeah, it's starting to get slim.
What I missed right? Oh, it's your pick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you go do that. And while he does that, I'm going to go do this and figure out what happened before me and after me. So, looks like I only missed the Bengals right outside linebacker Stanley Baptiste. Let me find him. Mr. Baptiste. Here he is, Stanley Baptiste, a power rusher out of Georgia Tech, 6'4", 23 years old. Really big hitter, but he only ran a 4.89 40, but 26 on the bench press. Very good at power moves, very good hitter. But it's just, is the speed going to keep him off of here? Then I talked about my guy with the halfback Lester Hakeem, the Bills draft kicker Nicholas Church. Let's look at Mr. Church. Not the best kicker. We've seen him already kind of go, but Nicholas Church, a power guy out of UAB. Again, another guy that will be kicking a very long time here in the OMFL. Cornerback Marcel Morgan goes over to the Rams. You want to go ahead and talk about your guy?
Sure. Went ahead. I was kind of preparing since I did pick up the Henry running back and a trade this season and stuff, but I don't have a whole lot behind him. So I excuse me. So I went ahead and took a flyer on this halfback Trey Lefebvre. And he's actually pretty decent. 85 speed, 88 acceleration, 85 brake tackle, 78 ball carrier vision, and 78 stiff arm.
Nice. Ross Blackenshear, middle linebacker, goes over from Arizona, goes over to the Vikings. Are you dying? Is somebody choking you? Do we need to call 911? You got me worried over here. I hope he went muted, so I hope he didn't die on me. All right, we got Matt Winters, tight end from Drake, goes over to the Green Bay Packers. Hopefully, you guys say a prayer for Mr. Maniac. I think he just choked himself, and we don't want to see that. Matt Winters out of Drake, 252, 6'6", good catcher, ran a 4.9 440. So like most tight ends in the draft, he's not going to be a big time burner. Right guard DeMarcus Short out of UCF. See what I get on Mr. Short. Oh, we got too many picks kind of rolling off here. Dylan Lawrence, middle linebacker. Let's see what we got on Mr. Dylan. 22 years old, 252, 6'2", out of Stanford, a field general type of player. Ran a 4.77 40. The linebackers is not too impressive as far as speed, but they really make up in it a lot of other areas. Did 24 in the bench press, so pretty good player there for them. The Ravens take Denard Adams, free safety. The last red chipper safety I have, 217, 6'4", run stopper out of San Diego State, ran a 4.64 40, did 19 on the bench press. So the Oakland Raiders are trying to rebuild that team there.
Sorry, I had a little bit of a coughing fit, so I had to turn my mic on mute.
I thought the wife was choking you out for playing Madden tonight, which is totally understandable. My wife is ready to choke me out. We're already at pick number 10 here in the 5th round. Let us get through the 5th round, and then we'll start taking calls. And so if you're interested in calling in tonight, you're just going to be in the Discord chat. You'll unmute yourself, and Maniac's Cat is going to interview you and see what you thought about your draft. But Yeah, if you want to do that, feel free to. Sorry, I don't know what's going on here. Feel free to let Maniac know, and we'll make sure that we bring you in. Denver Broncos, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, and the freaking Seahawks. A new rule immediately in effect. Anyone who trades picks to the Seattle Seahawks will be booted on the spot the second that I see your trade. I don't know who's giving the Seahawks all these picks, but you guys are out of your dang mind. What is wrong with you? Right guard Preston Watkins out of Virginia goes over to the Denver Broncos. Mr. Preston is 6'5", 314, 22 years old. More of a pass protector, power, finesse, kind of do a little bit of everything. Did 26 on the bench press, so he's really going to have to get stronger if he's going to continue to play here. And that's something you don't see Madden do. They really don't increase on the strength all that much.
No, they don't. And talk about a steep, crazy posts up a star development cornerback, 75 overall, 91 speed, 91 acceleration, 80 zone coverage, 75 man, 79 press, and 87 agility. What a steal this late in the draft.
Who's that for again?
Crazy in the Rams.
Very good pick. He's already picked a couple of good cornerbacks. So Crazy, really hitting it out of the park. He and Houston have really been some of my better drafts so far. Look, it's been hard to keep up. It always is. But the Browns have done a good job. The Texans have done a good job. And you have to say that the Los Angeles Rams have done their homework in a really, really strong draft for a guy who has fought through a lot of adversity and really trying to win in arguably the toughest top to bottom division in all of the OMFL. You have Mo over there. Both Mo's are over there. There's just a lot, right? There's a lot of very good players over there, and it's going to be really hard to win there, but man, he's kept his head up, and he's tried to do just that.
Yeah, having to face those guys, I mean, each one twice a season, I mean, so that's 4 games right off the bat, and then you got Big Hurt, so that's 6, extremely tough games. I mean, that coming out of the box.
There's 4 or 5 championships in that division.
Yeah, and then not only that, but just the actual Super Bowl appearances by each team, or coach from those teams and stuff. You got 5 from Mo, 2 from the other Mo, and then you got 1 from Big. That is a lot to have to face and to keep coming like he does season in out and still competing and drafting like he is right now. You had to give him a pat on the back.
No, you have to give it to him. I like the Los Angeles Rams. I like Crazy, and I like what he's bringing to the table. And it's good to see him have a draft that shows that he's putting in the hard work. Again, as soon as we are done, maybe halfway through the fifth round here, we will start bringing in calls. Please let Maniac know. What we'll do is we'll bring you into the Discord. You're probably already in the Discord. We'll unmute you or ask you to unmute yourself and ask you some questions about your offseason, about your draft, and about everything that you got going on. It's going to be my pick here coming up pretty soon. Usually you're not too far behind me after that, so we'll kind of play this by ear. I'm trying to get a little bit more comfortable here.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep from having a little coughing fit. I feel a little tickle coming on, and so I'm trying to push it down a little bit. So yeah, we're getting so close to getting to the middle of the round.
I'm sitting here talking, and I was like, oh, it's because it's me. I am muted. Mr. Ray out of Indiana State, 6 foot flat, 210 out of Indiana State, a zone guy, ran a 4.5 440 and did 17 on the bench press. And chaotic. The teams who know what they're good at, that's what they do. They go out and they just invest. And man, the Seattle Seahawks continue. They ignore, they're this late in the draft, they can do this. They just ignore all stats. They're going after potential. And man, he is just racking up on players that may not have all the sexy stats, but will be very good players. Another red chipper out of Ole Miss, 23 years old. Mr. Wainsley's 5'10", 213 pounds. Did a 4.5 340 and 18 on the bench press, but one of the last blue chip cornerbacks that are left out there. And then Mitchell Ramsor, left tackle out of Northern Illinois. He goes over to the Seattle Seahawks. Let's see what I got on him real quick. Am I looking at this wrong? Oh, here he is. Nope, that's not here. Oh, here he is. 6'8", 323 out of Northern Illinois. A power guy. Going to be more of a pass blocker than a run blocker. Did 29 on the bench press. So good pick for him. I'm going to let you do some talking. And I'm going to just go check out my draft board real quick to see what's actually still out there for me really fast. And then I'll get you to help me get caught up.
All right, let's look at some of the latest picks that came down the pipe. Was talking about the Marcel Morgan, just a phenomenal pick there in that position in the draft by a crazy 75 overall cornerback with 91 speed, 91 acceleration. And then you have Cincyberg picking up Stanley Batiste. He's suggesting the defensive line. 80 tackle, 89 hit power, 75 speed, 78 acceleration, 76 pursuit, 82 power move, 79 strength. Lacking a little bit of strength, but really there's a lot of core stats there that he can build around. I see him being a situational pass rusher and coming in and spelling his starters as the game goes along. Then we have middle linebacker Dylan Lawrence, drafted by Outlaw on the Texans. I don't know what Outlaw is doing, but he has a quick development player. He's 68 overall, but definitely a good solid pick there that late. And I'm not sure about his stats otherwise on that. And then double null, right guard DeMarcus Short, 82 strength, 75 run block, 78 pass block, 68 power on the run block, 82 finesse, 70 pass block power, and 78 finesse with a 76 lead block, on also 85 impact block. So that's a solid pick there that late in the rounds for double null. And let's see, Otis Wansley, the cornerback for the Seahawks, 88 speed, 85 acceleration. He's a little slow. He kind of compares a little bit more to the first round pick that Mo had, but there's some things there that could possibly he might even move this guy to safety. He does have 79 press, 79 jump, 80. But that's a solid player. Does have a little bit of hit to him as well. 81 strength. That pretty much, I think, catches us up. Discord froze up a little bit. No, there we go. Cornerback to the Browns, Nigel Ray. 89 speed, 83 acceleration, 73 man, 80 zone. 87 agility, 76 press, but 70 overall cornerback there, selected by Mr. Chaotic and the Browns.
I might have you catch me up here in just a second. Let me talk about my guy really fast. Halfback Sexton Mack. I'm just picking the best that I see on the board, which is tough. But 85 break tackle, 82 speed, 86 acceleration, 83 stiff arm, 84 truck, 77 carrying, 74 ball carrying vision, and 76 strength. So I like it. I mean, Madden didn't like it, but I think it's better than my other guy. 91 injury, 93 stamina, So, yeah, I think it's a pretty decent pick this late in the game. Oh, it's my pick again. Jeez, too many of these picks. So I'll let you keep talking, and then we'll come back and I'll get you to catch me up.
Okay. There's a few more players that guys are posting. The Giants kicker, they selected Kate Pitta. 93 kick power, 87 kick accuracy, 73 overall. He says a wasted pick, but it's actually not a bad kick power for the kicker. In fact, I think it's better than what I have, so I'd be happy with it. Um, Left tackle Craig Schaefer went to the New York Jets. Actually, it's a solid pick here. He's a quick development guy. Let's look at his stats. 80 strength, 72 run block, 81 pass. Probably going to see this guy be that left tackle, and he's not going to be that power run blocker, but he's definitely going to help keep the defense at bay on the passing downs. So solid pick this late. I mean, when you get this late into the draft, and you get a guy like this, I can't see but nothing but happy for you. And that kind of catches us up. We've got Duvall said that he would be able to come on to the show, so we'll get with you here real quick.
Yep, that sounds good. I think I got my next guy kind of picked out. So unless bless you, unless something happens here pretty soon, hopefully that guy's still be there. Again, it's this late in the draft. I took a flyer and thinking that people like the freaking Mo and his Seahawks would be gobbling up everything that's out there, but he did a good job of gobbling up a couple of players I had my eye on. And look, the OMFL does their homework, man. Guys are ready. They understand what they need to do. They do their homework, and they go out there and get their player, and you have to respect that. And clearly they've done that. So I'll go ahead and make my pick, and I'll get you to help me catch up. And then after we catch up, we'll bring him on. I took quarterback Trey Villa. Of course, it said I reached 68 overall, so I'm happy with that. 91 throw power, 80 deep throwing accuracy, 76 medium, 79 short. I will take that all day long. For a flyer in the 5th round, hell yeah, I'll take that. 75 play action, 74 thrown on the run. I love it. Look, he's not speedster, he's a pocket player, but I like it. I think that's a this late in the draft, just as a flyer, I will take that all day long. I got another pick. I tried to trade these stupid picks. Anyway, help catch me up really quick.
Quarterback.
I don't even know where I stopped.
Let's see.
That poor cat either wants to make love or wants you to kill it. One of the other two. Something is going on with this cat of yours.
Oh man, I don't even know where we stopped, man. There's been so many picks come off.
I think go like two picks before 2 picks ago for me.
Okay,
if that makes sense.
You picked Sexton Mac.
Yeah,
so,
go 2 picks before that.
Okay. Redskins quarterback Mitchell Conwell.
Yep. Okay.
Left tackle to the Jets, Craig Schaefer.
Hold on 1 second on that one. Yep.
All right. And then your draft pick, and then the Jaguars selected wide receiver Marshall Reed.
Marshall Reed.
Cardinals selected quarterback Cody Tanner.
You said quarterback, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And then your quarterback, and then the Bears selected strong safety Cardell House.
All right, and then after that?
Let's see. I got to refresh mine
good.
as well. was Patriots drafted right outside linebacker Ishmael Hubbard,
Okay, got him.
and then the Cowboys drafted halfback Melvin Washington.
Mr. Washington, and then the Ravens should be CPU. I'm gonna let it go. I'll make my pick real quick, and then we'll bring somebody on. Oh no, I guess he's around. Mr. Nick Fry. I have no clue what I'm gonna do here, guys. I'm just being totally honest with you. Hopefully Miami will take their time, and he doesn't. What am I doing, Nate? I don't know.
When you almost get to that point, it's just like eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah, I mean, it's this late. The draft has been just completely drained.
Dawson in that quarterback is actually a quick development quarterback, 71 overall. He is a scrambler, but see quick development that's coming out of the gate. That's pretty nice.
You know what? I wasn't going to do this. I don't need him, but I'm doing it. I'm taking a fullback. I'm taking Mr. James Nolan, 5'10", 245 out of Texas. Let's see what he's got. He's got 65 impact block, terrible. 73 lead block, not bad. 60 run block, that's terrible. 75 speed, 79 acceleration, 81 strength, I like that. Pass block is my grandma, and 76 carrying. So, not a super sexy pick, but 68 overall. It's a fullback. I took a shot. Who cares? All right, what happened right before my pick?
Let me bring that.
What's up to everybody on the chat? YouTube is still going strong. The Discord is still going strong, so thank you to everybody who's tuning in. Really super appreciate it. It has been a weird draft show, man. You guys have went so fast and furious, but you know what? We're getting through it, and Maniac, you're an all-star tonight. What happened right before my pick? It was a quarterback.
Ravens free safety Nick Fry. I don't know if you got that one.
Yeah, I got that one.
Dolphins quarterback Garrett Harrison.
Mr. Harrison, where you at, buddy?
Or I guess it's Arisman.
Oh, okay.
A-R-I.
Yep, there he is. All right, Mr. Garrett. And that catches us all up. Josiah Swilling, left tackle out of Colorado. Walker Todd instead of Todd Walker, defensive tackle out of Stanford, goes over to the Tennessee Titans. Let's see what we got on him real quick, and then we'll bring in our buddy. So tell him to get himself ready. Mr. Walker Todd, 6'2", 286, 22 years old, out of Stanford, a run stopper. Did 27 in the bench press, 5'16", on the 40. So pretty good pick there. And then halfback Jared Howell goes over to the Cincinnati Bengals. And that's going to be our last one as we get Duvall ready. So, Duvall, go ahead and get ready. You can even unmute yourself. 22 years old, 236 out of Florida A&M. Going to be a power back. Ran a 4.7, 140, 29 in the bench press. So, Cincinnati starting to pile that up. And then the Falcons go with Deion Jefferson, 71 overall. So, God, I just hate the Falcons. He just continues to find a good player there. Mr. Jefferson is going to be out of Appalachian State, a run stopper, ran a 4.5, 840. So good player there for the Falcons. Mr. Duvall, are you with us?
Send him a message. He hasn't responded back.
Oh,
so.
he might be getting ready for those really tricky round 6 picks. So we can definitely honor that as he gets ready for that. I'm just giving him a hard time. Dion Logan. Go ahead, Mr. Duvall, whenever you get this message and you get ready. You unmute yourself. Let us know you're here. We'll bring you on. 4.5940 for Logan. So a speedy, strong safety. Going to go over there to Buffalo. Right tackle Gregory Dorsey out of Miami. Another really good pick for Miami, 72 overall. So Miami continues to rebuild with some depth players that can really play in this league.
I don't want to make my pick, sorry.
No, you're good. I didn't even notice. Harmon Farley, wide receiver out of Nevada, goes to the Eagles. Oh, that poor cat might put it out of its misery. Let's see what we got on Mr. Farley. 6'6", 230, 24 out of Nevada. Ran a 4.58 40 and did 26. So big, strong guy out of Nevada going over to the Philadelphia Eagles. Mad Maniac with the Chiefs is up. Duvall's up with the Vikings, so maybe he'll come on after his pick. If you want to talk, you want us to interview you like we always do on our draft shows, please make sure to let Maniac know. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. You can follow us on Twitter, Grown Folks OC, on Twitch, Grown Folks OC, here on YouTube, Grown Folks Online Community, of course, our website, grownfolksoc.com, our Daddy Leagues page, daddyleagues.com/OMFL. So lots of ways that you can follow us. Give us likes, subscribes, help support what we're trying to do. We're just trying to do what we do here for the Madden community, and it's a ton of fun. So I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I apologize because tonight's show seems to be a little all over the place, and Maniac has really saved the day because I have been all over the place. I really like this player that you got, Reed Young Jr., or Senior, I should say. He's a guy that I almost took, so tell us all about him.
Well, he's definitely somebody that I need to look at for a backup. I've got one guy, he's actually decent, but his throw power is a little bit weak. This guy comes in with a 93 throw power,
Nice.
72 deep accuracy, 73 medium accuracy, 74 short, 76 throw on the run, so he's got ability to throw on the run as well. He's not a fast guy, more of a pocket passer, 67 speed, 68 acceleration. But a throw under pressure, to me, I think it's a well underrated attribute for this Madden, because it seems like when you got guys on you and stuff, it seems to help the controller be calmer the higher it is when you're throwing the ball, and it has less effect on it and stuff. But he's 74 to start off being a rookie, and he's also 21, so he's got a few years to develop, and I think he's a good pick for me.
Yep, it's not a bad pick. I love that big arm. You cannot teach that, and definitely the other stuff can be worked on. So, Mr. Duvall, whenever you're ready, please hit us up. Let us know that you're ready to go, and we'd love to have you. If you're out there and you want to come and be a part of the show, please just let Maniac know, and we'll bring you on and interview you. It's always a ton of fun. Oh, he's asking for somebody to unmute him. Sure, I got you, Duvall. Hold on one second. Let's see if I can unmute you.
I was going to say he messaged me saying, could we hear him? So,
all right, Mr. Duvall, I think we got you with us now, my buddy.
Can you hear me?
We got you this time. Duvall, the man with the Minnesota Vikings. It was a really up and down season for you. Things didn't quite go the way that you wanted. Early in the season, right, you and I had a lot of, not fun conversations. Not that they were bad conversations, but clearly you were frustrated with trying to figure some things out. I personally feel that things got much, much better at the end of the season. You seem to get a little less frustrated and kind of find your stride. What was it like to get through last season, and what was kind of your focus going into the offseason?
Well, I'm going to say this first. First, Nate, I'm going to say, man, you run an incredible league, man. Yes, I bumped head and got a little frustrated because I was getting my ass whooped. But, hey, at the end of the day, I took my lumps, and I'm ready to come back and put up a couple of W's this season. It was rough, man. I ain't have a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback? I made a trade. Hopefully I was going to get one in Derek Carr, and he was just as bad as what I had, so I cut him. I mean, I cut him and lost a third-round pick on him. It was an investment trying to get the ship back right, but it didn't pan out.
Well, what happened with the quarterback situation? How'd you find yourself in that situation?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I took a gamble last draft and we're hoping to get a quarterback in the second round. If you remember last draft, quarterback went
They
quick
did.
in the first round.
They were like offensive line for this year.
Yes, and so by the time I got to the second round, wasn't no good quarterback. So I said, well, I'll take my gamble with Geno Smith. He did a halfway decent job for me that previous season, but he declined sharply toward the end of that season. This season, and it really hurt, man. I mean, not having a solid quarterback and then having some issue on the defensive line, it just, I mean, I lost a lot of games at the beginning of the season, by a touchdown. But I was throwing a lot of picks, so I was like, man, I try to start running a different offense. I was trying to run what everyone else is running around here, just trying to pound the ball. That's not me. So I say, you know what, if I'm going to lose, I'm going down slinging.
Yeah. Did we fix the quarterback situation this offseason?
Oh, man, I think the guy drafted with that fifth pick going to be a stud for us. I'm excited about him. Man, he got a strong arm. He's very accurate. He's young. I mean, if everything pan out, I think that's going to be my quarterback for the next two Madden. I got a lot of faith in this guy. I mean, overall, this draft, I'm excited about it, man. I did something different this draft. I stayed disciplined and I tried to pick the sexy pick.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I drafted a quarterback first, and then I ran back out with that second pick and went and got an offensive lineman because I need to shore up my offensive line. And then with that third pick, I went ahead and grabbed a nice little receiver because I wanted to make sure I got a good receiving core because we're going to put the ball back up in the air. And so, every pick is something that we needed, not just a sexy pick. So I'm very pleased with the draft. I mean, I'm going to tell you one thing. I think the NFC North is going to be back in a big way. Looking at what Smash did, man, he had an incredible season last year. And he had an incredible draft so far. I've been watching every pick he's been getting. He's been drafting some nice players. Of course, Detroit and the Packers, they always pick up some solid players, but we always find a way to beat each other up. But I think this year, the Super Bowl going to come out this NFC North, believe it or not.
Talk about the North a little bit. What happened last year? I mean, the division-winning team, was just barely over 500. He got swept away in the playoffs pretty quickly. How did it go wrong for the North this past year?
Well, if you look at the North, especially the three teams with Detroit, me and the Packers, we all have one thing similar. We all struggle at quarterback. The Packers, when Aaron went down, he had to play with his backup quarterback. The Lions, they started a rookie quarterback, so that was the main thing in my opinion. I think the Lions played good ball, but they just had a rookie quarterback that they had to learn how to play with. And with Smash, he was the only team that had an established quarterback and an established team. Everybody else kind of went young real fast. So that's one of the main reasons why I traded away a lot of my older veteran players, because I'm like, if we're going to commit to this youth, we just going to go ahead and commit. And we traded a lot of big-name players away from our team, some real heavyweight, but we want to commit to this youth movement because we want longevity and we want to build toward the future.
We'll talk about the future. What should we expect from the Minnesota Vikings in season 83?
Well, my goal is not to get a bad FPR. I don't want to be in the doghouse no more. But, man, I'm being honest with you. I'm going to tell everyone right now, we have our new offensive coordinator, Mr. Warren Moon, is back in the house. So with Warren Moon back in the house, you already know what that means. The ball will be in the air. We're going to try not to put it in the air too much, but we will be airing this ball out. So I'm gonna tell you now, damn defense, we gonna be in a track meet. So if you can't put at least 40 points up, oh well, we gonna try to just score. We don't care about defense this year.
Well, your team is already pretty good at defense, so that's not a whole lot there that you got to worry about. And you did earn gold again, so you've got a lot of XP there that you can start adding where you need to do. What is the thing that you want to see from your team this preseason or the rest of the games that we have here before it kicks off on hell, I don't even know what today is. Today's Monday, so we're probably going to get started on Tuesday night. What is it that you want to see from your team before you get going?
Man, the main thing I want to see how this young quarterback play. I think looking at everything he could bring to our team, I think he might be the missing link. That's something we have not had since I took over this franchise. You know, we had Kirk Cousins, he sucked. Then we had Geno Smith and David Carr. We have not been able to find solid quarterback play. I'm hoping that this be the one piece to get us over the hump and hopefully get us where we want to be back and get to the playoff. We haven't been to the playoff yet.
Mr. Maniac, what do you have for our buddy Duvall?
Just listen to you talk about, the keys to your success and stuff, and saying that you really needed a quarterback this season. Now you got that quarterback. Do you really go all out trying to prepare him, train him and stuff to try to get his attributes up even more? Or
we got to. No, we gonna get him up. We need him to be the difference maker. I think when you look at our division in the NFC North, one thing I know, you need to have a strong arm quarterback because of the elements of the weather we play in. He got that. He's very accurate. He check every box we need to check, and we found a steal of a receiver that we had on our receiving core that we didn't even realize how nice he was, and he was nominated for All-Star. And that's Birch. He was a guy drafted a couple
really
of
good player
2 seasons ago, and I drafted him like late, maybe the 4th or 5th round. And man, I started throwing him the ball, and he doesn't drop anything. So when I put him and Diggs together, and then we got this guy last year, Neighbor. Man, I'm excited about some of the prospect that we could do with this team.
All right,
Nice,
Mr. Duvall,
nice.
I can't let you out of here without first letting you, the last draft show last year for season 82, you kind of had a little something to say. Smash Jumps On had a little something to say. 00 had a little something to say. So we can't let you out of here. You got to give us some bulletin board material.
Look. I don't give a damn about none of them. I'm trying to be PG. I don't care about none of them. I told Smash he got lucky this year. We played sucky, but I cannot wait to get his ass on the field. Cause I'm still mad about last year. He said I ain't had no offense. I've been on my damn board since last season. And Priest, I ain't worried about Priest. Every time I play Priest, he can't play nothing. I don't even know why he in the league. Yeah. Priest is horrible. I don't know why y'all still got him in the league. I need to let him go to another team. He's hurting the darn Packer. The only one I might give a little respect to is Bull. The only reason I'm gonna give him a little bit is because the line, at least they won 2 championships. He stole both of them. I ain't gonna even say what he's like, but all I know is this year we fit to bring this NFC North back. It's been quiet because I sucked this season, but the NFC North, I'm telling everyone, from the AFC to the NFC, championship coming through Minnesota this year, baby.
Well, you heard it here first. Mr. Duvall is laying down the line, the line in the sand. Let's see how the NFC North responds. Mr. Duvall, there was no button heads on my end, my buddy. I got nothing but love and respect for you, and I believe that we will get those little minor issues figured out. So thank you so much for being on the show. Good luck this season. Let's get out there and win this Rookie of the Year with this quarterback that you have and take the NFC North.
Hey, all I'm saying is if I come close and throw for 10,000 yards in one season, don't get mad at me. I'm trying.
There you have it. Well, Mr. Duvall, thank you so much, man, and good luck this season.
Okay.
All right, there we have it, Mr. Duvall. There you have it, Mr. NFC North. It is up to you guys to respond. I think it would be fun to have some of you guys hop on here. 00 always likes to do his responding in type. So I'd love to have him come on and just kind of say a little something. But there you have it. He's kind of laying down the law. A little disrespectful to Priest, though, man.
He
and
smacked the Priest around a little bit.
Priest is not shy, so hopefully Priest is around and he'll agree to come on. So if you want to come on, we're taking calls. We were just going to do a little interview, talk about your season last year, your off season this year, and your draft. And right now we got the Jaguars on the clock, pick number 20 in the 6th round. Cardinals, Texans, Bears, Patriots, Cowboys, and Ravens. And that's going to get us really close to the end of the 6th round. We won't have too many picks left. And I'm expecting probably 10, 20, somewhere in there. We should be done with the draft, do our 10 minutes per week, and get us into week 4 of the preseason and have some fun here before things kick off. So if you want to be on the show, please let Maniac know. You can also, again, stop sending me the photos I don't want any more photos. I'm not announcing these things on Twitter no more. That time has passed. Joseph Young out of Tulane, wide receiver, goes over to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are an interesting team. Of course, Brady used to come on the show and used to be like a really integral part of the league. Not so much anymore. It is kind of what it is, and so they're an interesting team, though. They're always in the hunt. This past year, I could be wrong, but I don't think he made the playoffs this past year. He lost his, Leonard Fournette to free agency. I'm not sure if he re-signed him or where Leonard went, but definitely some changes going on in Jacksonville. What do you think went wrong this past year?
Yeah, I think he got out of his comfort zone early on. It seemed like he was just I don't know if he was just wasn't engaged or what the deal was. He kind of turned it on at the end of the season, but he did miss the playoffs by that one. I think one game. I think he missed the wild card spot.
Yeah.
So, and I just I hate to see him kind of get just unplugged from the league and stuff, because he does have a lot to plugged in. He's a really good player, but I think that was the big thing. He just like he struggled early on. It was his schedule or what the deal was, but he started in the hole, and that's where he ended up, as the season progressed. But he did make a valiant effort. I think, like I said, he missed the playoffs by that one game, getting into the wild card. But he's had, I think, a decent draft. I don't know if he's had like even a top 10 draft, but I don't think he's been in the bottom end. But it'll be interesting to see what he does. And we also do have Big Hurt and also our buddy Dwayne, who said that they would
nice.
be willing to come on the show.
Yeah, let me knock out Sherman here. Let's take Dwayne first, because he's at work, and I know sometimes he may have to shoot off, and so let's knock him out first, and then we'll bring on Big Hurt. So Dwayne, go ahead and unmute yourself, my friend.
What's going on?
Mr. Dwayne, one of our co-hosts here on Press Pass Live. We've missed you tonight, buddy, but you got to make that cheddar. Nobody else is going to feed those cows. You got to make money to feed them. So how are things going tonight, my friend?
Well, I'd rather be drafting than at work. Standing putting air on top of a rail car right now.
Well, there you go.
I'd rather be drafting.
You are always, 1 or 2 in the AFC. You've been one for a long time. You kind of hit a little speed bump this past year, though. Not only did you not go undefeated, but you lost to the Bengals deep in the playoffs. Looking back on your season, what'd you think about it, and how did things kind of fall apart there against the Bengals?
Season went well. Other than, we had a slip up against him early in the season, Titans, who was going to be a rivalry going forward. Player. The season went pretty well. No major injuries. I think Wentz only threw 4 interceptions last season. We pretty much played everything within our.
Can I just pause for a second? That's amazing. That should be a record here. That 4 interceptions for the entire year. It's sick.
We just took care of the ball. We didn't, I always try to give Dawson pep talks when we start talking game planning and stuff. And my thing is always, I don't want to beat myself. I'll play my heads up, and if they beat me straight up, then they get the win. And that's kind of what happened against Cincy. I don't want to turn the ball over. Try to make other teams turn the ball over, and I try to use the deference in the second half to my advantage. I try to get one, going into that second half, try to get a score, try to get the ball back, get another score, and kind of put the pressure on other teams, and try to make them play out of their comfort zone. And I've had Cincy's number this Madden, and I can't say that about many Maddens. I've had his number. I think I've beat him 3 out of 4 times Madden so far. Beat this year when it most. He just played a perfect game. We just played each other to a stalemate. Who was going to mess up first? I made a bad pass on 4th down. Missed the open guy. He got the ball back, and he didn't let me have it back. He earned that one. Played honestly a playoff game with no turnovers. He just played a perfect game, kind of like you said. When you play someone like you got to play perfect, and he just played a little more perfect that game. So last season was a success. I'm not really disappointed. I mean, I really hate not winning. but I played as good as I could in that championship game. Since he just played better than.
Well, if you could tell Tweety Bird to shut up on your shoulder there for a second. What was your focus as you kind of went into the offseason this year? Your team is so loaded. You're so solid. But what was kind of your thoughts about what you needed to do in free agency?
It was get older. I know that sounds funny compared to some people, but I've always made my living in the OMFL off of having old school vets, having some guys that bring that leadership, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and I think I addressed that this offseason. I did pick up, I want to say, 3 defensive linemen this year. I know you preached tonight about guys trying to get their offensive line, defensive line fixed up, and I tried to take that approach too. I picked up Ryan Kerrigan, who's been a mainstay of mine for a long time. Dawson finally let him go, and I just tried to establish that because I just hate getting ran on. You've always said that if you stop somebody's run and make them pass the ball, you have a chance for them to make mistakes. Somebody can run for 150, 200 yards against you. There's nothing worse than gashed all game. So I tried to reiterate that this offseason, tried to really get my defensive line built up, tried to bring in some vets, and I did have to let go of T.Y. Hilton this offseason. I was really disappointed in doing that. He wanted a little too much money, and he's not over the hill yet. Big Hurt will probably receive for 15 yards with him this year, but I just couldn't pay him, and we are almost going by a wide receiver by committee this year, Indianapolis, which should be interesting. I really hope I don't have to rely on the passing game just a whole lot. I did strike out with my Thunder running game I was hoping to have. Maniac was my running back. No, but Bo he'll probably get more carries this year than he has. I did pick up Kenneth Dixon, back him up. Draft, I set my draft board up with a few fast receivers and a few offensive linemen, hoping that somebody would be there when my time came up. I haven't got to look at my rookie yet. I'll look at him after the draft, update Daddy League. And I'm hoping it brings a little quickness. If you've looked at my wide receiver core, I really don't have a lot of size. I think my biggest guy is Rashad Perriman. He's honestly not a red zone threat. So I'm kind of hoping to run the ball when I get inside the red zone because there's not going to be a whole lot of red zone throwing.
Well, what do you think about your draft overall? I know you haven't got to actually see the players, but do you know of anything, or is it just kind of a wait and see until you get home?
It's a wait and see. Like I said, until somebody updates Daddy League after the draft, I should get to look at him then. I'm happy with what I did. I had all my picks first, second rounder. Of course, coming up to when I knew that I wasn't going to be able to make the draft. Me and you made a deal, and Dawson made a deal to get rid of the rest of my picks, except for my third rounder, who I was really attempting to trade for a pick the other day, but it kind of fell through. That deadline came and passed, and I just had to ride with it. Dawson did offer a draft for me, which is going to be a lot of work, honestly, to ask him to do that for me. So he was on my board. I know he was. I recognize the name. So I did get somebody that I did have on the board, luckily. So I'm hoping to bring some, like I said, my wide court is this year. We don't have the top-end, heavy superstar receiver like I did with T.Y. He just seemed to come up big when I needed him to come up with. But I did get a guy who is fast. It ought to be interesting to see how the offense changed this year. If teams started zoning, trying to stop the run again. You have to feed on the outside to do it, and as much as I know it infuriates Big Hurt and Spencer to see him run all the time. I do keep his runs to a minimum, but I'd make his runs worth it when I do run the ball. So that's kind of how I'm hoping to go with it this year, is go with Bo and just kind of branch everything off with that.
What are you hoping to see from your team before we get into season 83?
I'm hoping I'm going to look down. I'm already at my 3 mark. I think I had players already. 2 or 3 of them. I'm hoping I have more guys that are practice squad eligible. But I'll pretty much have my guys set and ready to go. I'm really just going to kind of thin down and just see who's not going to make the cut. Especially defensive line. I think I have quite a few defensive linemen. I'm going to kind of thin it down, but I really wanted to reinforce that this offseason. I want to make sure that those are set. My linebacker corps is really a lot weaker than I would like it to be. For a guy, I really like to build that last cycles. It's not right where I want to be at, but I'm hoping that we can refocus. I know coming out the blocks last year, we were horrible on defense. I think the Titans burned us. I think it was like 600 or 700 yards passing just in 2 games. We got to find a way to limit that. My safety converted secondary. It's held its own for the most part. I know people love to hate on my guys hit sticking when I don't even hit stick with them. but they do like to knock people's heads off, and there's no better feeling in the world. I take a drink of my gin every time I see it. But I love to see it, and I picked up a few more. I picked up Cam Chancellor this offseason. He is going to be a safety. Probably will be a nickel formation, big nickel, somewhere in there where he can lay the wood on somebody and, can't be exploited too much playing against some of these speedsters that you see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'll let y'all take Big Hurt now. I'm gonna get back to work so I don't get fired.
All right, my buddy. Thank you for making time for us tonight, Mr. D. Wayne. Everybody, we love him. You know him. He's number one in your hearts, and usually number one on the scoreboard at the end of every season. Those Colts, man, are super powerful, and they're just one of those really, really. You have to play perfect. Like when you play D. Wayne, I used to play him twice a season, every season. You had to play absolutely perfect, or you were not going to beat him. He's just really, really tough, and it's hard to try to figure out how to play that way every single time. So, yeah, I look for the Colts to be back. They'll be my pick again. I know they didn't win it this last year, but I really expect him to be there again. He'll be one of the top teams in the AFC. Oh, it's your pick. I don't know if you've seen that. I just realized that. My bad. Pick number 7.
I got in late, so.
No, you're good. Pick number 4 here in the 7th round. So we are wrapping it up and quickly coming to a close. Mr. Big Hurt, if you are listening, please feel free to unmute yourself. We'll bring you on. I love doing these interviews, getting guys to talk about their team. The San Francisco 49ers won the Super Bowl, I think. I could be wrong, but I think the first season of Madden 19, and then has kind of ebbed and flowed, had what he would consider a down year. He kind of turned it on late in the year, though, made a late run there at the end, and I think he just unmuted himself and joined us. Mr. Big Hurt, are you with us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, my friend. Thanks so much for tuning into the show and being with us. Before we go, we got to talk about your show. My God, these picks are coming fast and furious now. But tell us about what happened last season. There's some ups and some downs for you, but what happened to the San Francisco 49ers in season 82?
Well, I made some early moves, thinking that, based on money and just, moving the team around, really needed a linebacker with Reuben Foster being gone. So I picked a rookie last year, Willis Walton, and things just didn't really pan out. And Garoppolo started off as really rough early in the year for me. I just struggled, and I became one-dimensional, and my offensive line is not built for that. It hurt, and it was a struggle. And then, having some tough games, defensively, off the year, double null. I mean, if I remember right, he's a tough defensive-minded player in the first place. Shut my run game down and missed 3 early throws, and it was hard to even overcome. And I threw 5 or 6 picks in the first game. That was just a tough first week 1 to start off, and I think it was Mo week 2 or week 3 last year, and it just, our battles and Mo's team, and as good of an opponent as he is, it just tough start to come out of last year, and then Modelli taking over the Cardinals, and he's building his team over there, and like we've talked, Crazy B-Man. The division is it's not an easy week when you look at in-division games.
Yeah.
And then I had quite a few games outside of my division that were tough games as well. So I struggled. Confidence got down. I threw a lot of picks early in the year, and I had to kind of go back to the drawing board and kind of shift things back to the running game. But like I said, my offensive line and even my front 7 of my defense just was not built for the type of games I had to play.
Just a little heads up, your pick, Big Hurt's coming up in 4 picks. What was your focus as you went into the offseason? What did you really need to do to get your team back to its winning ways?
Oh, exactly what I just, was talking about, my weaknesses there. I mean, I went in thinking, okay, I got to rebuild these trenches on both sides of the ball, offensive line, defensive line, even linebacker. Playing against, you got to stop the run. If you can't stop the run, you don't even stand a chance. the first season I felt like I played pretty good defensively because I
Really
had
good.
a
I mean,
good
top 5 team.
oh, and I'm just saying I played good defensively enough to where I had a handle on the defensive side of the ball, stopping the run, and I forced people to turn the ball over in the passing game more than I did last year. Last year I couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop the pass, and it was just like it was a nightmare. And so I was like, going into the offseason, I got to build up back up. My secondary is good. Good, but my, like I said, just the front seven and even my offensive line on offense is just, it was guys, and then that's about it. And then, playing Mo where he just pounds the rock times a game, you can't have, you just can't have a bad front seven. And his defensive line was like all 90s on top of that. So it's like both sides of the ball. I just got, and then Mo Deli had a couple pass rushers that got off to the ball and quick linebackers, and it was a nightmare.
Well, how do you feel about this draft? Were you able to fill some of those needs? How did things turn out in the draft?
Oh, yeah, I made like Solomon Thomas, traded over him to D Wing, got a first-round pick there. Traded Reuben Foster, got the Raiders' first-round pick. So I ended up with 3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks to kind of rebuild. I did get a defensive end that's got 94 strength, pretty solid, 305 pounds, Castaneda. I think he's going to play out well. And turn around, pick my second pick in the first round, got a tackle, Ben Hunter, so I was really happy with those 2 picks. Took 2 linebackers, RJ Waynes and Ben Gutierrez. They both guys, but they're just not the guys that I was looking for as an every down linebacker. They're more situational guys.
Yeah.
I went in and took another linebacker with my middle linebacker. And again, he's a situational linebacker, straight pass coverage, not really good against the run. And then my first 2 linebackers I got were straight run, not really good against the pass. So it's a lot of situational there.
What about what about that defensive line? Like trading away a Solomon Thomas, you get this one rookie, but do you feel good about just what that line's going to look like as you go into the season?
I do. I mean, I did lose Damone Harrison. He just wanted too much money. He was a nice piece to have up the middle, but Buckner being in the middle and Eric Armstead, still 2 younger guys, like 27 years old. And then I got the young guy, Castaneda, that'll be a rookie this year. And then Shaq Lawson, I believe, is my other DN. And so I think I have a solid defensive line. Fred Warner at linebacker, and then I've made a couple moves here to fill out the other linebacker spots. So,
what should we expect from the 49ers for season 83?
Well, I actually have already made 2 of my 3 trades that just went down here over during the draft. We added a nice running back and a linebacker to fill out. Joe Mixon has been added to the Niners roster with the departure of Jay Ajayi back, and I just couldn't pay Jay Ajayi the money that he wanted. Signing Keenan Allen to kind of keep the number 1 threat there, and then Goodwin, he declined so much that I couldn't afford that. So I went and got T.Y. Hilton and made the additions there on the offense to make it work.
It's your pick. I just want to make sure you know that.
Yeah, no, I've gotten all my picks
nice.
here, so we are good.
Awesome. Well, it's been look, the 49ers, they win the Super Bowl as we come out here. They've had, you've rebuilt. Do you feel good about the quarterback situation? I know that you picked up one of the guys I cut. he like started out hot and then struggled and then got maybe hurt and flip flop. Like, what are you doing with the quarterback situation? I don't know your team that intimately, and do you feel like you have a solid solution going to season 83?
Yeah, so I did. I had picked up JT Barrett, just trying to kind of like. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo was struggling so bad that I was just like, all right, I got to find out, what I got on this team right now, and so I picked him up, thinking, all right, we'll give him a shot, see how it goes, and it didn't pan out quite as well as I hoped. I mean, he made a couple solid throws in the game against Mo, and then turned around the next game, and it was just he was missing throws in the open field, and it was a struggle. So I went back to Jimmy G and kind of just wrote it out, and Jimmy actually finished out pretty good. At one point in the season, I had 13 picks to no touchdowns. Finished out the year with 21 touchdowns and 28 picks. So I kind of flipped the script, but I felt like I was just down like a lot, and I had to throw the ball and force throws that I was not comfortable making, and that's partially why I had to kind of press the issue of going and getting a running back and building this offensive line to try and run the ball more and be a pass option, offense, not just a one-dimensional.
Well, there we have it. Tell us about the show. Oh, actually, let me turn it over to Maniac first. Maniac, what you got for our buddy Big Hurt?
Yeah, sorry, I had my mic muted. No, Big Hurt. I know you went through going through this last season and stuff, and at every turn in this division, even with Crazy, I know Crazy's had his struggles and stuff, but he's played you guys really close, or the wins that he's actually gotten has been inside the division and stuff. So playing that type of division with that type of talent, week in, week out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's 6 games a year that you're going to be in a dogfight, and then it's just based on like who else do you match up against. I don't think my division it's saying, oh, this is an easy win or this is an easy game. I mean, we all know what Mo's capable of. Yeah, I may have won a few more games than he has versus me this year, but haven't been lopsided. They've been like down in the wire. Like one play could change the whole game. Mo Deli, like we've all known, he throws the ball, and he added Mike Evans and picked up DJ Moore, so the pass game is going to be probably top of the league right there with those two guys. And then B-Man, I don't know, like the last 2 years I finished out like a week 16 or week 17 versus B-Man, and he going into the game, he's expressed to me his frustration about how he's been playing. It's like he plays me in a flawless game, like no picks, 3 touchdowns, or 3 touchdowns and a pick, and it was like a tip ball or something, and I'm like, against everybody, and then he's like, I threw like 5 or 6 picks against this guy, and I'm like, you take care of the ball. He's a dangerous user. Like, he's, we've got a top to bottom, division where it's not an easy week.
Right.
An injury or a simple play, or a simple drive could change the whole aspect of the game.
Yep, I agree.
Well, Big Hurt, before we let you go, tell us about the show. I know that you guys weren't able to get a ton of episodes out last season, but it's one of my favorite things that you do. Tell us about your concept. Tell us about you and Big Hurt. Tell us about what we should expect for season 83.
Yeah, I mean, our show, we just wanted to add something else to the league, talk about it, kind of give another, another outlook or another angle on things. Maybe talk about something or a couple, topics that you guys don't have time for. You guys put out a lot of content, just to give something else to the league, and give some of the guys something to listen to here and there. We talk about, doing a couple new things, bringing someone on, trying to, do something like that, and give everybody an opportunity to join in that maybe wants to, like you're bringing people in here on the draft show that they don't, get an opportunity to, or can't make draft night or something like that. But we enjoy doing it. It's fun. It's the league, looking at stats, looking at players, doing the power rankings. Because I know since he enjoys doing the power rankings and on Madden and like daddy leagues aren't always like really like, I guess, correct. They don't like take a lot of things into effect. So he puts his time into that. We just, we enjoy doing it. We like doing it. It's fun. And we appreciate you guys letting us do it, and we appreciate you guys, So I know this year we were planning on trying to get more shows in, but started a new job and we've kind of been working opposite work schedules, so it's been kind of tough to find.
Yeah, it's hard.
And so yeah, we're hoping to kind of have a few more shows this year than we did last year. But I was picked up the Pro Bowl thing with Maniac, and I'm excited to also bring that and maybe incorporate on the show and talk about some things or whatever, as long as we clear it with the old boss man there.
Nothing's got to be cleared with me when it comes to content. I appreciate the show. It's something that I look forward to hearing, and I know a lot of the other guys love to hear it. People get tired of hearing my opinion and my voice. So I super appreciate it. We're looking forward to your 49ers bouncing back again in season 83. It is the toughest division, in my opinion, in the entire OMFL from top to bottom.
I just got one funny thing to say about this. Is you guys, like, it's crazy to think that, like, Mo picked up 4 guys, and I was just, like, sitting there in the free agency. I was like, man, how is this guy, like, how is he doing this? Picks up J.J. Watt, Gronkowski, Jason Kelsey, I don't remember who else he got, but I was just like, man, he, like, reloaded his whole team just in the free agency. And my last 3 games of the season this year, I hope it doesn't come down to that, because we got Mo and then we got Mo Deli. And that's going to be a brutal stretch. I hope all my guys are healthy, and I hope that things are decided by then, because if not, that is a row.
It's a murder. That is definitely a murder's row. That is super, super tough. Well, Big Hurt, good luck to you, man. Thank you so much for being on the show, and looking forward to seeing your show and hearing your show and watching what the 49ers do in season 83.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy. Thanks. You, buddy. All right, we're coming to the end, friends. We are at pick 24 here in the 7th round. So if you want to hop on the show, right now is the time to do it. So please let Maniac know, and we'll definitely bring you in. We'll make it quick.
Priest.
Mr. Priest, we'll go. Let's do it, Priest. Unmute yourself. Up? Mr. Priest, we didn't get to hear from you last draft, and I missed it. Priest is never short of opinions, and I'm proud of you, Priest. You did not draft 72 halfbacks this draft.
Yeah, I didn't need to. I already got 2 studs that are going to have some fun this
That
season.
has never stopped you in the past, my friend. Talk about season 82. What happened to your Packers, man? You had a good season to start off with, and then things you hit a little bit of a lull, and then you made a late run. So what happened to your Packers in season 82?
Rodgers got injured for 22 weeks. I found out that I do like Kaiser, so if that happens again, I'm fine playing with him. It all comes down to holding on to the damn ball and not throwing an interception. That's me.
Yep. Well, talk about your off-season lookout. What did you want to do in free agency? What did you want to do in the draft? I know that you went out and got a couple of quarterbacks, I think, this draft. So what was your outlook, and do you feel like you achieved it?
Well, I didn't do anything in free agent. I didn't really need to. I didn't have much money anyway, so I left free agency alone. I really was glad that I got that middle linebacker. I actually moved Martinez over to left, and he went up 5 points for me, so that was a bonus. I just found that my front 7 needed a little more power, and hopefully PJ can do that for me. Or PL Ramsey, sorry.
Yeah, he's a really, really good player. What should we expect from your Packers in season 82? And 83, but before you do it, you also, I don't know if you were listening, but Duvall's already kind of laid it down, and he was a little disrespectful to you and your Packers.
All I got to say to him is he was 0-2 against me last round, so he can talk right now. I was at work, so I didn't hear what he said. But
well, you'll have to go back on the show and listen for sure.
There was no shortage in him tooting his horn.
I'm not worried about the Vikings. I'm worried about the Bears and the Lions.
Well, we'll talk. Yeah. What should we expect? What do we expect from your team in this upcoming season?
Well, I got my first 4 picks are all quick development guys, so even that quarterback's a quick development. He probably won't play, but that was good. I got the fullback; he's a quick development. My right guard's quick development, and then PL Ramsey's quick development. You're going to see a little different. I'm going to be less running or less passing. You see a lot of running from me this season. She can take that, Vikings.
Mr. Maniac, what do you have for our good buddy, Mr. Priest?
So we all know how you've kind of done your offensive style. You've been slinging it, just run and gun basically, but it's more on the gun side run. But you have had your good moments on the running the ball and stuff. So what did you do in particular to really focus that you're saying you're going to focus on running the ball? What did you do? Steps did you take to get to that point?
I spent about 3 hours and remashed my whole playbook. It's probably 70% run plays, all different. So you just watch out. It'll be fun.
Awesome.
Well, there we have it, Mr. Priest and the Packers. A little short on words with us tonight, but
yeah, I just got home from work. Tired.
I'm sure we're going to see a lot of firepower. The North is always a confusing conference for me to figure out, and so it's always better whenever you and your Packers are winning and doing well. So, thank you for being on the show. Good luck to you in season 83. Yeah, please.
I told Dawson he can have the Packers for 1 year, but he's got to get a better team than Washington.
Well, there you go, Dawson. Now you know what it's going to take to get your Packers that you've been wanting to have.
Thanks, guys.
Mr. Priest, thank you so much, man. Good luck to you in next season. There you have it, Mr. Packer and his Priest. Mr. Packer and his Priest and his Packers. Too many P's there for me to figure out. Look, the Packers, that division is always better whenever the Packers are playing well and winning. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Packers and kind of how he's able to turn things around there. But look, I think he can do it, right? He's got the running backs. He knows what his plan is. And, now he's going to he just has to put it all together.
Yeah, he's definitely got a plan of attack, and it's going to be fun to watch the fireworks fly in the north. So, I don't know if you know you're on your pick.
Yeah, I am. That's why I was scrambling and yapping a little bit, trying to I have no clue what I have. I haven't even been able to keep up with the board lately. This is definitely not a guy that I ever would want, but. It's been a really good draft. Is there anybody else that wants to come on? We got 2 picks left. We got the Bengals and the Falcons as they wrap this up. But has anybody else said that they wanted to come on?
I have not seen anything from anybody else.
Well, there we have it. It's been a good draft show, man, and you saved my tail tonight. I had everything lined up and ready to go, and I was still scrambling. These shows are so hard, and I appreciate you saving my tail tonight. It's been a good show. It's been a good draft. It's only 10:22, which is pretty good. It's about where I said. I think I said 10:20, so we're a few minutes over, but we had to pause twice for a couple minutes. But, man, we're going to be into season 83 tomorrow night. What are you expecting? Give me an early. We're going to have time, and you'll have the show, but give me an early call. Who's in the bowl from the AFC and NFC?
Oh, this is it's difficult. I mean, obviously, you can't go wrong picking Dwayne. I mean, Dwayne's 2 seasons in a row. And he's 2 seasons removed from being the champ, and then you got D Money. Right now, I mean, I know it's kind of like get out of the jail card, the easy pick to say, but I think my pick's going to have to be the rematch, Falcons and the Colts.
Really? Well, not rematch because it was Falcons Bengals this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going Falcons Colts.
Falcons Colts. Yeah. I got it twisted up in my mind and stuff, but yeah.
Well,
I
think again we'll have time to look it over, but I'm gonna go Colts and Seahawks. I just think that the Seahawks really did a great job this past draft and really put it all together. And it's going to be, they're going to be a tough team to beat. But so were the Falcons. The Falcons had another really solid draft, not like the year previous, but that's a really, really good team. And man, it's going to be an interesting season 83. So thank you again so much for being on. Give me your closing thoughts. Let's wrap this puppy up.
I thought everybody had really good drafts. I thought there was a lot. It wasn't just one team loading up on everything. It seemed like that everybody was kind of getting in on the goods. I mean, because you had this guy picking up and Dawson just picked up a quick development guy with his last pick in the 7th round. So what's that say? So guys done really well with their boards and it was just the draft went by quick. I mean, it went by quick and getting that pause draft, getting all that extended out and stuff was nice.
Yeah, we have injuries turned off. I will go announce the 10-minute warning, and we'll get this advanced to week 4, 10 minutes each round. Get your team set. After you're set, please post that you're set. You can find everything with code !OMFL business season. There's so many great things. Before we go, give one last push about the Fantasy Football League, and then I got one last push, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, the Fantasy Football League, excuse me, we're actually going to start that once everybody gets set with their rosters and stuff and gets to preseason 4, and we're waiting for the start of the regular season. We're going to go up until the hour before the season starts. Basically, all you're going to have to do is you go check out the blog that I posted about the fantasy football. Follow those instructions. Basically, you're going to have access to the entire roster of players for your fantasy football lineup, except for your very own. We don't want guys taking their own players and trying to, be shady behind the scenes with that stuff, so you can't have access to your own players for your own fantasy football team. It'll be weekly, and I mean physically weekly. You'll enter in your stat. You don't have to do it every week that we advance, but as long day leagues will keep up the stats for 4 weeks, 4 Madden weeks. So as long as you're entering in your stats for those games that week, every Friday you'll be fine. And we got some good prizes, awards for the guys and stuff. And we want everybody to be involved as much as possible, and it should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. So many good things that we've added. And I think we're almost tapped out on ideas. There's not too many more ideas that we can add here. I will say,
don't tip me.
No more ideas, please. I think we've got all that we need. But I will say that I did get some messages. I didn't get to respond. I don't know if I'll get to respond tonight. But people are asking how to donate. It will be my PayPal, which is my email, nathanlejeune@icloud.com. So you can PayPal me a donation of $10 or more, any amount. I think the average is about $20-$25, but really it's just minimum of $10. Anything above that gets you platinum membership here. We'd love to have that. But so many good things. I'm excited about it. It's been a fun draft. It's been a good draft. We had some interviews. We had some more smack talk. I love that smack talk. A little quiet on the interviews, but the ones that we had were really, really good. And I'm ready to get into the new season. I got that number 1 seed for the first time ever. And just threw away my season these last couple of weeks. I'm ready to get back at it and have some fun. And I appreciate Maniac and all that he brings here. All the board. You guys all work so super hard. Bill is taking not a hiatus. He's still going to be on the board, but he's going to take a break from the scheduling and just kind of be a support role for Kevin. He's earned it. He's needed it. That's why Kevin was added to the board. But look, Bill is a super spoken out guy. He's a New Yorker. He came on right before we started the show, and in the way he said, "How you doing?" sounded like the movies. It was the greatest thing I'd ever heard anyone ever say. Don't give Bill such a hard time, guys. He has a really hard job, and I know that, sometimes he can be rough on text, but it's text. Suck it up a little bit. He's just trying to get a job done and take his ribbing for what it is, just nothing more than ribbing. He's a great guy, and I super appreciate him and what he adds to this community. I'm ready to go, so I'm going to shut up. We're going to shut the stream down. Thank you so much for being here, putting up with our early technical difficulties. Maniac, thank you again for saving my butt, for making this draft show one of the best. I will mess with all this tomorrow, get the audio and everything uploaded, because I know guys like to go back and watch. And until then, we'll see you at Press Pass Live this weekend with hopefully Dawson and Maniac and Dwayne and the whole crew back together again for another really great draft show. And let's go have some fun. So for Mr. Maniac, thank you so much again for all the leadership here in the OMFL and the Grown Folks Online community. I'm your host and commissioner, Kinda Real Nate. You have a blessed week. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Later.